Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. At this time, would you all please turn your attention to the field as we begin our pregame ceremonies, and we go down to our principal and CEO here at Purcell Marian High School, Mr. Andy Farsi.
Cavaliers, friends, alumni, students, parents, everyone in Cincinnati, welcome to Staubach Stadium at Purcell Marian High School. This was a dream born 96 years ago, reborn multiple times along that span. Born again about 2 years ago, and together we get to celebrate this moment in time, and there's no place I'd rather be. Huge thank you to everyone for being here, for our donors that helped make this happen, for those who built it and designed it, but my most special thanks is to our students and their families for saying yes to Purcell Marian High School. Let's give our students the round of applause they deserve here. I've got so many great stories about how this stadium came to be, but I've only got 1 more minute to speak. So catch me sometime. I'd love to tell you about the efforts and the energies that were put in to build this amazing place on Hackberry Street. With that, we'll begin this event the way we begin all events at our wonderful Catholic school, and that's in prayer. And Deacon Royce Winters will lead us in that, along with Father Mike Narkin.
Everyone, please stand. And let us pray. May the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit be glorified in all places through the Immaculate Virgin Mary. Amen. Amen. So let us pray. Oh, gracious and loving God, we thank you for this time and for this day in beautiful Cincinnati here at Purcell Marian High School. It is a reminder that you, O Lord, are always with us, not only in times of need or sorrow, but in time of joy and celebration. We thank you, O God, for the many gifts you have bestowed upon us, especially for the faculty, staff, students, alumni, and friends of Purcell Marian High School, especially the alumni of our historic schools, St. Mary's High School, Regina High School, Purcell High School, and Marian High School. We thank you, O God, for the men and the women who have shared their talent and time. Thank you. Share our talent and time and treasure to bring this life to this stadium and to this field. And we remember the lives that have gone before us that have contributed to the path that has brought us to this momentous day, bringing the Cavaliers home on Hackberry. So we ask you, O Lord, to help us to continue to look for your presence in all things, for every seat that has been filled here today, for every body, mind, and heart that feels the presence of this very stadium. We thank you, we praise you, and we bless you. As we celebrate the diversity as a school, it's a reminder that you make yourself known through all things. So Lord, on this night, on this day, bless these student athletes, their coaches, and their families. May today be a celebration of a community, a community which learns how to love one another, care for one another, and to seek justice for all. And so we lift up our prayer to you, our gracious God, today and forever. Amen.
And may Almighty God bless this field now and always, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, would you please direct your attention to the video board in the south end zone.
Coaches back to Purcell High School, the players I played with at Purcell, and everyone that's in this stadium today is part of the feeling that I have right now, that it's fantastic. I love every daggone second of it. Thank you.
All right. On behalf of our Board of Trustees, the students and staff of Purcell Marian, and all alumni, please in welcoming to Staubach Stadium, Mr. Roger Staubach. Mr. Staubach, on behalf of everybody, the ability to name the stadium here, we know that you didn't want to do that, but we asked, and asked politely, and it's just our honor to see Staubach Stadium up there. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you so very much.
We're going to step over this way. Team's going to run out now.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Fair Park Wildcats.
He's going to throw it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captains for tonight's game for the visiting Wildcats of Deer Park. Number 2 is Jace Parsons. Number 10 is Kyle Langdon. Number 15 is Justin Blakely. Number 18 is Brody Armour. Number 32 is Jashawn Denson. And number 65 is Clark McGowan. And for your Purcell Marian Cavaliers, number 1, Crowan Neal. Number 2, Withio Phillips. Number 6, Shamar Battle. And number 56, my man, Luke Schumacher. As we now have the ceremonial coin flip. Right at midfield. Deer Park has won the toss and deferred to the second half, which means the Cavaliers will be receiving the opening kickoff here for the 2023 football season.
His landing strip. Ladies and gentlemen, direct your eyes to the sky as we welcome the Stars and Stripes to Hackberry Street. Okay, you're next on the microphone. So once they land, and I do this.
I was pulling on the cable, so get out of there. You come straight down.
The colors are being presented by a group of alumni that represent various branches of the military. The national anthem is being performed by Mrs. Jonetta Johnson, the class of 1994, and a current Purcell Marian Dean of Students. She's accompanied by the Purcell Marian American Sign Language students. Please rise.
To see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the pale Hall of Famer, the Honorable Roger Staubach, the GOAT, number 12. And he will make the ceremonial first pass with senior center Luke Shoemaker and our senior tight end Levi Smiley. And he's wearing his original Purcell jersey from 1960.
Just watch out right here. Heads up. We're going right here. Zip. Zip. Hut.
And there is your first pass completion at Staubach Stadium. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this game started.
For the first time ever, the Purcell Marian Cavaliers have a home. It's Staubach Stadium in Cincinnati, on campus. For the first time in the school's 96-year history, they have a home stadium. It is great to have you with us tonight. Jack Kaiser with the Purcell Marian Hall of Famer Nick Shookman. And Nick, the energy around this stadium, this community has been palpable all night. We're about ready to get it going.
Yeah, this is huge for Purcell Marian and the community in general. I remember my years of being here, loading up the bus, going to practice down at Eden Park, loading the bus back up, coming here. So the fact that now we can walk out of the school, practice, play games right here is just huge. And I'll tell you that there's guys that have been texting me all day long talking about it. It's amazing.
Roger Staubach throughout the ceremonial first pass. He's still got some zip on the arm, about 10, 15 yards down the field.
He does. We completed that first pass, so that's big. But it's amazing having him back here and having this stadium named after him, and having him here for this has been come full circle for us.
You saw all the festivities, the shots pregame, and again, it's just such a big night for this community. With Roger back in town, you saw a paratrooper coming in. This has been a long time coming, and they spared no expense with this stadium.
They didn't. It was, the paratrooper, that was amazing. The flag, everybody here got so excited. When Andy took the mic, the place just went absolutely crazy. So it was amazing to see. And I think that's, 95 years of just pent-up energy for this. And so it's just been awesome.
You played here and you graduated in 1997. What does this mean to you, watching this community gather for this type of moment?
It's amazing. Like I said, I've had guys texting me all day about, man, I wish we had that back when we were in school here. So I know there's so many guys. It was talked about. It never came to fruition. And I think everybody's so excited just to come here and watch this and share in this experience.
Yeah, I know you've been juiced up all day to get out here. This whole community has. And there's a lot of excitement around this team, too. They've made the playoffs 3 consecutive years. Yep. There's a ton of anticipation about what success could come this season.
Yeah, and it also falls on the heels of Jeremy Flug and him being here, and I think there's a lot of excitement with him and what he's doing, and so it's going to be great to see what he can do with the talent that's out there and make happen for the Cavaliers.
Well, again, they spared no expense with this stadium on campus for the first time in school history. It's a $9 million facility. The audio, the visuals, it's just outstanding.
The other thing that was neat, and we learned this on the call the other day, was Andy, sounds like they raised about $3 million without even making an official ask. And that's just how much the alumni and the community got behind this and said, hey, we've been talking about this for so long, we need to now make this happen.
He said, we wanted to do it right. And from purchasing the property back in 2020, breaking ground early in 2022, the realization of this dream, again, everybody's been waiting for this for decades, and it's finally happened.
And it's amazing. Like you said, they spared no expense. I mean, the scoreboard, the sound system, this artificial turf looks amazing. I was talking to a couple people earlier, and they were talking about just the overall design and layout and how Purcell really thought through every detail and made this an amazing place to play football.
Well, when Roger Staubach was here, he said, I would have never imagined my freshman year here in high school that Purcell Marian would have a stadium named after me, but that has come true. He graduated back in 1960. He was wearing his original jersey.
And he looked good in it. He looked very good.
He looked great.
Yes.
For 81 years old, the arm looked good. And look at that young buck right there. Roger back in the day.
Number 12.
He was known for his exceptional athleticism, the combination of passing and running. Grew up just down the street, went on to win the Heisman Trophy at Navy, the last military academy member to win the Heisman Trophy. Of course, served our country in Vietnam, and the legendary career with the Dallas Cowboys. He is back in his new home tonight to watch the Purcell Marian Cavaliers play at their first true home.
Yes, sir. And the excitement in here, the noise, it's crazy, and we're ready to go.
It is sold out, and here we go. Bloop of a kick and a fair catch will get us started. Ian Phillips on the fair catch, and Purcell Marian will come out on offense first. Here is Sonny Ward, the Norwood transfer at quarterback. This is his first game with Purcell Marian. And talking to head coach Jeremy Flug, this guy can fly.
Yes, he can. and it'll be exciting to see him fly around tonight. Especially, he's got some big guys on that O-line in front of him, so I think they're going to be able to hold the defense and make some things happen so he can make some things happen.
Norwood, of course, in the Scarlet Division in the Miami Valley Conference, so he is familiar with the MVC and Purcell Marian. Flag on the first play and a false start. These Purcell Marian coaches expect some sloppiness early on.
Yes, and that was one thing that Jeremy mentioned on the call too. Just trying to keep these guys at an even keel, and expecting some sloppy play, but hopefully after a couple minutes, everybody will calm down and get on track.
You mentioned the offensive line. That is considered the strength of this team. There's Jeremy Flug in his first season manning the Purcell Marian sideline. Spent last year at Woodward. And here's the first play. On the ground, J.L. Harris, the number 2 option last year, tripped up right near the line of scrimmage. Flug has bounced around the Cincinnati area. Said he lives 45 minutes away, and he went to Walnut Hills High School about a mile down the road. He said living 45 minutes away, that tells you all you need to know. I really want to be here.
That's dedication to coming here, dedication to the kids and the program, to wanting to be here and make it happen.
Also a former coach, 3 years at Cincinnati College Prep. On the ground again, it's Harris. Bouncing to the outside and across midfield.
Nice run.
Ball spotted at the Deer Park 44. That's a first down for Purcell Marian.
The other thing that's nice to see is the offensive line. Historically at Purcell, with not a lot of big guys on the offensive line. So some of these guys look a lot bigger than me and my buddies that were out there playing O-line. So,
hey, you were quite the force yourself at center, though.
I tried real hard.
Hall of Famer right here in football and wrestling, Nick Shookman. I'm Jack Kaiser. It's great to have you with us. Miscommunication on the snap. Sonny Ward's going to take off, and he's brought down from behind. Again, expecting some sloppiness early on. The energy expected to be at an all-time high for these guys, playing at home for the first time in program history. Second and 9 on the first drive of the game. Ward to pass. Flushed out to his right, and he's got Levi Smiley. Top receiver, makes a cut, going for the goal line, and he's in.
That is a big first drive for the Cavaliers.
Welcome home, Purcell Marian.
Way to set the tone for the rest of the game and the rest of the season. That was awesome.
He's got offers from Akron, Kent State, and UT Martin, and Ward put it right on the money. Felt like that first drive was so important, Nick, with this sold-out crowd to capitalize on that energy, and they did.
I agree, they did in a big way, and then this place went absolutely nuts. And I think that's going to be important to keep everywhere behind them.
All right, the PAT went awry. A pass is flicked, and it ends up short. So they'll settle for 6. But Purcell Marian does get the touchdown on the first drive. The 44-yard pass from Ward to Levi Smiley. That's some serious athleticism right there.
That is, and that's a big guy. To see him running at me, we're trying to chase him down. I don't know if that's something that I'd go too aggressively after.
6'4", 225, the leading receiver last year. And his first touchdown of the season is the first touchdown at Staubach Stadium.
The first of many.
And again, it brings up the conversation about the new era that this school is going into. There's such a rich history at Purcell Marian. But with Staubach Stadium being built, it's a beacon for what's been happening with the school recently and all the growth that they've experienced.
Yeah, you know, enrollment's up, admissions is up. There's a lot of exciting things going on. They've got this international baccalaureate program that's drawing in a number of students. There's just a lot of people getting behind the things that are going on here. Andy Farson, I think, is a big reason that that's happening. He's gotten a ton of people excited, and everybody's just getting on board and pitching in any way that they can. And you can see what is happening. This place is just going crazy.
And you can see all the accomplishments for the football program, along with the academic stuff you just mentioned. Playoff appearances the last 3 years, which broke a 19-year drought. The expectation this season, Nick, is 9-1 or 10-0. That's what Jeremy Flug told us.
And I love that. I absolutely love that. The confidence there is great. And I think that between the talent and the coaching staff, if they keep this thing moving in the right direction, then I think they can do it.
So a strong start to the season and this new era at Staubach Stadium for Purcell Marian. Deer Park's turn. And on the return, cut down just shy of the 30-yard line.
You know, and making the playoffs was something that every year we strived for. And in my 4 years that we were here, we never made the playoffs. So the fact that they've done it 3 years in a row, for these seniors, if they can make it again this year, that's four. Every year that they were here, they made the playoffs. And that's a huge accomplishment for this program.
Get our first look at the Deer Park offense and Jace Parsons. This is a Purcell Marian defense that was ranked second in the Scarlet Division in the Miami Valley Conference last year in points per game allowed at 22. These matchups with Deer Park have traditionally been lower scoring. Deer Park will run the triple options. It's Parsons on the ground.
Parsons, the ball carrier. Tackle to play by Michael Manuel. Second down and 8. Wildcats from the 31-yard line.
Parsons has mainly been asked to run over the course of his career. This is a triple option team. They're going to be running more shotgun this year.
Well,
Lincoln, ball carrier. Tackle on play by Neil Phillips. The ball is at the Deer Park 34-yard line. Third down, 5. Wildcats.
He's up 4-6 on the first drive for Deer Park. Offense that averaged 24 a game last season.
defense stood him up.
Back by the Purcell Marian defense.
Denson, the ball carrier. First hit with Neil Phillips. Good Cavalier. Bring it up. 4th down and 4.
And Jace Parsons, the quarterback, also punts.
Parsons back to punt.
Purcell lined up on the 30, getting ready to receive.
And that's scooped up. Flag on the play, and about a 5-yard return. Jayon Saunders on the return, and Purcell Marian will get it back up 6-0.
We'll see if they can keep that momentum going. Defense did a nice job holding.
I mean, really, this is about as good of a start as you could have hoped for if you're Purcell Marian.
Yes, it is.
Touchdown on the first drive, 3 and out for Deer Park.
Yeah.
Now the question is, what's the flag? Illegal block in the back will push Purcell Marian back. Again, the season opener tonight, 3rd straight year that we've had Purcell Marian against Deer Park. And the first ever game at Staubach Stadium and on campus at Purcell Marian.
Also couldn't ask for better weather tonight.
Oh my goodness.
Nice cool temps.
I saw it's going to be in the 90s next week.
Good thing this isn't next week.
77 tonight, we'll take it.
Yes.
All right, Sonny Ward and the Purcell Marian offense back out there. 44-yard touchdown pass to Levi Smiley on the first drive. And a run around the end. It's Harris, and he is wrestled down. Jace Parsons, who will play some linebacker as well on the tackle.
Gain of about 4. Second down and 6, Cavaliers. From their own 24-yard line.
Brings up 2nd and 7. Quick pitch to the outside and a catch. Carlian Neal just shy of the marker. Maybe got there. Depends on the spot near the 30.
Yep. Looks like they gave it to him.
And that's a first down. Clock winding under 7 here in the first quarter. Carlian Neal, the junior, had 24 receptions last year, which was 2nd on the team, behind Levi Smiley. And that play is blown up in the backfield. Good penetration from Nemo Triggs, the freshman defensive lineman. We saw the flashy touchdown pass in the first drive, but the success for Purcell Marian this year, and like past years, seems like it will be predicated on the run.
Yeah, that's always been a big part of the game for the Cavaliers. Like I said, we've struggled with big linemen in the past, but I think this year with the guys that we've got, hopefully that's something that they can figure out. Looks like the offense is figuring some things out. Snap.
Second and 12.
Sonny Ward on the keeper.
Coming in hot around the edge. And another tackle for loss.
Loss on play, bringing up 3rd down. We have another announcement on Deer Park. Attention all.
Can you go back to the spare
eligible drivers and vehicles. If you park on the sidewalk, out on.
We got a big 3rd and 16 coming up here.
On the sidewalk, you need to move your vehicle.
3rd down and 16 for Jeremy Flug's team. Again, his first season. So much anticipation about Purcell Marian this year, trying to capitalize. Ward bobbles the snap, picks it up, guns it downfield. Did well just to get rid of it. Carlian Neal upended though, and a late flag.
Field's pass intended for Neal is incomplete. We had no effect on the play. Personal foul, targeting against Deer Park.
Targeted against Deer Park.
That is a huge call because it extends the drive.
Yep.
That'll be 15 yards from the spot the original spot. We will replay third down. So it'll be third down.
It's not quite enough to get the first down. It was 3rd down and 16. Third and 1.5.
So it's 3rd and 2. Once again, if you are parked in front of the school on Hackberry on the sidewalk, you need to move your car immediately.
So coach is showing how much confidence he's got in the offense right now.
Thank you.
3rd and 2. Harris trying to find the edge. Got a stiff arm, going for the 40, and he's got it.
Nice run, nice first down. Way to get outside.
J.L. Harris really came on strong at the end of last year, and he's shown some effectiveness early tonight. He only got carries really the last 5 games of last season, and this is his first chance to be the guy.
And it seems like he wants to be the guy because he's got a couple runs here under his belt and he's doing well.
Now there was a late flag. For unsportsmanlike conduct, which will push Purcell Marian right back.
It'll be first down.
Now it should be first down because it was a post-play penalty.
From their own 31-yard line.
I think this might be a little bit of that sloppy mental mistakes that the Cavaliers are making.
Well, you can see why they're a little bit sloppy. Look at this crowd. You can imagine the nerves on these guys.
We got people lined up around the field watching the game. It's a pretty exciting environment.
Officials have to sort out ball placement, clock, down and distance.
Officials timeout.
And it looks like we're good to go.
Here we go. First and 10, Kevin.
6-0 Purcell Marian on a Levi Smiley 44-yard touchdown reception. First drive at this stadium. Ward will pass.
He's got a couple blockers.
And wrestled out of bounds.
Sonny Ward's pass complete.
Jahir Gilliam on the catch.
Rest out of bounds by Guzman.
When you look at the weapons for this Purcell Marian team, they return their top 4 receivers, their number 2 running back. That's part of why the expectations are so high for this offense.
Well, that and that name Smiley that you've been throwing out there a bunch of times, he's a big contributor to what's going on. Broke a tackle, got a block.
Jayon Saunders is still chugging across midfield and down to the 44.
That'll get everybody pumped up.
They call Saunders an absolute burner. I think elusive best describes that run.
Yes, it does.
Ward will go to the outside again. It's Gilliam again, trying to cut it back inside, and a small pickup of 3 or 4. Gilliam known more for his defense, getting in on the offense as well.
Sonny Ward looks very comfortable back there for his first year coming over to Purcell and making the transition. Looks very calm and comfortable back there, making the calls and making these passes and setting everything up.
That's a great point. Coming to a new high school is hard enough in itself. This is his 3rd day of school. He's the starting quarterback for the team.
Seems to be handling it very well.
Quick slant, caught, Smiley sheds a tackle, breaks it to the outside. Here comes the speed. Smiley, horse collar down inside the 10.
Coach Flug wasn't kidding where this guy can do it all. Catch, block, break tackles, run through guys. That was a great run, great catch and run.
It looked like it was over there around the 35, and he just extended it. Kevin Guzman on the tackle. First and goal for Purcell Marian. Ward pumps, flushed out near the sideline, fires back, almost caught. Just off the fingertips. Quentin Hunter, the senior who played basketball last year. They finally convinced him to play football, almost had a TD. Under 3 to go in the first quarter, and Purcell Marian a chance to take a 2-score lead. Another flag. That'll bring it closer.
Replay, second down.
You mentioned how comfortable Sonny Ward looks. The passing game has really started to take life on this drive.
Yes, it has, and that also opens up some options for the running game, but he is doing well, making his reads and finding those guys.
They've got 5 wide right now, empty backfield. Ward takes it himself right up the gut for the touchdown. Fans are packing Staubach Stadium to the brim, and Sonny Ward just celebrated with all of them.
Yeah, this place is going crazy. Everybody is absolutely loving this. I think they had those 5 receivers out there. Everybody's expecting a big pass right up the middle there.
And that lane was clear right down the middle. Your old territory, huh?
Yeah. I think old Luke Shoemaker's opening up some bigger holes than I ever did.
He's a really good center.
Yes,
they love Luke Shoemaker. And this extra point is blocked. So 2 PAT tries have failed. Casey Seawall got that one away. But a tip will keep it 12-0. The new quarterback in town, Sonny Ward, all smiles on the sideline after the rush for a touchdown. He had 7 touchdowns on the ground last year for Norwood. And he puts Purcell Marian up 12-0. Well, there was a quarterback who used to play here who was a pretty good runner himself, and Roger Staubach.
Yes, he was. I believe he was known as Roger the Dodger because of some of his scrambling abilities back when he played. You know, one great fact about him is he was one of 4 guys that while playing in Navy, a Heisman winner, and also in his professional career a Super Bowl MVP, which is pretty cool. There's only 4 guys total that did it, but he was the first one.
The accolades are ridiculous.
It is.
You look up and down.
The sheet that I've got is just, I think, 3 pages of everything that he's done and been a part of.
Pro Football Hall of Famer, College Football Hall of Famer. Won a couple of Super Bowls with the Cowboys, and even going back to his first game as the starting quarterback here in Cincinnati at Purcell Marian. Roger led a comeback and threw a game-winning touchdown pass in his first game as a starting quarterback, and he said that pass changed my life.
Yeah. Yes, it did, in a big way. All that from a small guy that grew up in Silverton, Ohio, here at Cincinnati.
He wasn't even a quarterback at first. The coach saw how good of an arm he had on the baseball team and said, hey, why don't you play some quarterback for us? Well, he's in the house tonight throughout the ceremonial first pass, and his team has delivered so far.
I was going to say, I'm sure he's enjoying the start of this game as well.
Seawall with the kick, and it bounces to Brody Armour. Trying to get it to the edge. He does. Seawall cuts him off right around midfield. Maybe that's the jump start that Deer Park needs, trailing by 2 scores.
30 overtakes the kick. Tackle on the play by the kicker, Tyler Rude.
And we've barely seen the Deer Park offense so far in the first quarter.
That's very true. They probably have fresh legs, and they are ready to go. But hopefully the defense, as Jeremy said, are ready to fly around. Sounds like they've really been working on conditioning. These guys are supposed to be able to go all night long. So
he said on offense, we want to get the game up to 140, 150 plays. Like you said, they love to fly around, fast, athletic on defense, and they will blitz. Parsons will decide to keep it across the 40, a ferocious stiff arm, and brought down just shy of the 35.
Parsons on the keeper.
It seems like there will be no shortage of quarterback keepers tonight.
no, I think these guys are used to doing that and feel comfortable doing that, and that's good because that allows them to open up some options on either side of the field.
Well, Parsons was the starter for Deer Park last year. Barely ever threw in the triple option offense, but they will run more shotgun as we've seen tonight, and passing will be more of a threat. Wing T, triple option, whatever you want to call it, the ground game will still be the main part of this Deer Park attack. Up the gut, Blackley gets to the outside, wrestled down from behind inside the 20.
Tackle play by Harris.
J.L. Harris, the running back, who all played fence, a lot of two-way guy for both teams on the tackle.
I was going to say, back when I played here, I mean, I think just about everybody went both ways. So that's something that Purcell, and I'm sure Deer Park as well, is very used to. So conditioning plays a big role in a lot of these programs.
Offense or defense, which do you like more?
I loved offense. You know, in terms of having, here's where you got to go block, whereas on defense, there's kind of chaos. Go tackle the guy with the ball.
You were a wrestler. I imagine you were pretty good at tackling.
Yeah. We drilled it a lot, but you know, I think wrestling does play into football very well with leverage and quick feet and everything like that. So a lot of the guys on my team did both, wrestling and football.
Well, more ground game for Deer Park. Devin Bedgood on the tackle, along with Wathel Phillips, third leading tackler last year and the top returning tackler for Deer Park this season. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 15-yard line of Purcell Marian.
Need to see this defense step up right here. Hold their assignments.
Mesh point keeper, Blackley, all the way in for the touchdown. Parsons gave it up, and Blackley paid it off.
Well, it was bound to happen at some point during the game. We'll see how the Cavaliers bounce back. Like Coach said, being able to balance the highs and lows of the game. So far to this point, it's been a lot of highs. A little punch in the gut there with them putting in the end zone, and we'll see what they can come back and do.
And a flag before the extra point sails through.
Encroachment against Kevin.
That is encroachment on Purcell Marian.
Where you tried the extra point.
Now, the extra point was good, and I think Calvin Johnson, the head coach, is asking if they blew the play dead beforehand. Looks like they did, so they'll have to retry. Joe Broadbeck with the point after attempt. And that is off the upright, no good. So 0 for 3 between the two teams.
Bringing your score, the Purcell Marian Cavaliers 12.
You mentioned the highs for Purcell Marian so far. You jump out 12-0. It's easy to ride that wave, but Jeremy Flug, the head coach for Purcell Marian, talked about keeping these guys even-keeled and recognizing the fact that, hey, these games with Deer Park have been close the last 2 years, so Deer Park certainly is not going to lay down. No, they're not at all, and they're a hard-nosed team, like Coach said on the call. You know, they're going to grind away. They're going to get out there. They're going to play hard-nosed football. So, you know, Purcell's used to doing that as well. So, you know, both these teams will just get out there and keep playing and keep playing and keep playing. And hopefully the Cavaliers can end up on top at the end of the game. Well, the ongoing sustainability of Purcell Marian High School relies upon generous support of the annual fund. Gifts in any dollar amount make a big impact. Become a sustaining supporter and set up a monthly gift for as little as $1 a month. Make a gift to the annual fund today at www.purcellmarian.org/donate. I think we've talked about how this school, this program is growing, and any help they can get, any more help, certainly appreciate it. Yes, it is. And I know there's a number of Cavaliers out there that have, whether it's to me, whether it's to Andy, have asked, what can we do? And so this is a great way to set something up and to give back to the Cavaliers to continue this excitement. Some space on the kick return here. Uh-oh. There's a massive hole. Curly O'Neal trying to keep his feet on the sideline, but he's whistled out. Fans going nuts. They thought he was able to tiptoe that sideline successfully, but he is whistled out of bounds back at the 39.
39-yard line.
Oh, that was close.
Yep, and I think the Cavaliers may have fallen asleep in the bleachers there for a minute, but that woke them right back up.
That's the Deer Park 39.
That would have made it 3 scores on 3 consecutive possessions for Purcell Marian. They can still do it, just the long way. Not even through the first quarter yet. That is real close. That is. It's tough to tell with the railing right there. Here's a better look. Yeah, he stepped out. Yep. A couple times. Back to work. Ward using his legs, zigzagging down to the 35. I'll tell you, Sonny looks good out there. Getting that snap, moving around, looking downfield. If nothing's there, very comfortable tucking that ball and running. And as a former offensive lineman yourself, that just builds the confidence around that unit and the entire team that much more. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Knowing that you're taking care of your job up front and allowing the quarterback to do his is huge. Well, that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter, and a successful one at that for Sonny Ward and Purcell Marian. Touchdowns on each of their first 2 drives. Deer Park answered with 6, but still a lead on the first night at Staubach Stadium. Jack Kaiser, Nick Schuckman with you tonight, and let's check in with the 3rd member of our crew, Chris Wilkie.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I'm Chris Wilkie here at Purcell Marian High School, and I am here with Kristen Hawkins, who is the Director of Community Engagement for our own Cincinnati Bengals. All right, so the Bengals have been one of those organizations that has helped Purcell Marian really step it up in our community, and there's a lot going on in the Evanston, East Walnut Hills community that is made possible by awesome organizations like the Cincinnati Bengals. So what is it about this project that kind of caught the eye of the Bengals?
Yeah, so I think our biggest mission is to be able to help different schools all around our region. And so when this opportunity hopped up, I think it was super special for us to be able to do a school that was like literally in our backyard. We're so big on our youth in high school football and just highlighting those elements. And so when this opportunity came up for us to work together with them, I just think it was a great opportunity, and we were super excited to help out.
Oh, and we are so thankful, and we are so thrilled that the Bengals did. Are there other schools and other organizations that the Bengals have been focusing on and helping to develop, like you've been so generous with Purcell Marian?
Yeah, so I mean, this is a great example for our Friday Night Stripes. So our goal is to impact all of our youth and reach out across our region. And this season, we will be in the Dayton area, we'll be in the Lexington, Kentucky area.
Amazing.
We will be in and out of Cincinnati, which is, of course, in our backyard. But our goal is to just reach out and have as much impact as much as we can, just through everywhere that has Bengals fans.
Well, and with that, I think we better wrap it up. Thank you so much, Kristen. Thank you so much, Bengals.
Thank you for having us.
All right.
Hey, you guys almost had the chance to call a touchdown right there with Quentin Hunter going to the goal line. That was broken up at the last moment, but this aerial attack for Purcell Marian has made its presence felt early in the game.
Yes, they have.
But yeah, so much positivity around the community, and Chris just touched on that. This is such a fun night. In case you're just joining us, the first on-campus stadium for Purcell Marian High School, named after Roger Staubach, 1960 alum. He is here tonight in a strong start for Purcell Marian, up 12-6 after the first quarter.
Well, the other thing that was important, I know Andy was talking about in our call, was making sure that this is for the community as well. And I know there was a lot of community engagement when they were talking about designing this, but with St. Francis de Sales right next door, making sure that those kids can come over and use it and different community partnerships can exist here was important to Purcell.
That false start will make it 3rd and 6. Purcell Marian on the drive into Deer Park territory. Yeah, you mentioned, hey, the DeSales Cathedral in the background here is gorgeous.
Yes, it is. It's undergoing a little bit of renovations right now, but yeah, that thing is amazing. I know Jeremy was talking about it in our interview too. Just, you know, he was a big Notre Dame guy, and so it kind of reminded him of that, which is pretty cool.
It's right behind the right end zone. Purcell Marian going left, and they go on the ground, a minimal gain on 3rd down. Harris was stuffed just past the 35. Will bring up 4th, and decision time for Jeremy Flug.
Looks like he's keeping the offense out there.
4th and 5 from the 34. Another empty backfield set for Purcell Marian. Another flag. And this time it's encroachment. And it should be enough for a 1st down.
We'll take it.
Calvin Johnson, the head coach for Deer Park, will not like that too much.
Not at all.
Coach Johnson in his 7th season. 3 straight playoff appearances for Deer Park through 2020. They went again last season, playing in the Cincinnati Hills League. That play was blown up with the running back. Ward decides to keep it, and he stuffed the 29. Maybe a gain of 1. And Nick, I'm sure you can relate to this. After the first quarter, I'm sure the nerves are starting to settle down for both these teams, and some of those explosive plays might start to disappear.
I think so. You know, the guys are getting comfortable, getting a little sweat going, you know, staying tuned in. And like Coach said, I think they're calming down, tapping into what's going on, and getting their job done. So hopefully we do see less of that.
Harris lined up with Ward. 2nd and 10. Ward wants to throw. Flushed out. Ward down the sideline. Connects with Carly and Neal right near the sticks. And it is a 1st down.
Knocked out of bounds by Sellers.
It's a heck of a catch.
That's a very nice catch.
Dan Carly and Neal Jr., second leading receiver behind Smiley last year. Smiley and Neal have both been very active so far tonight. First and 10 inside the red zone.
He keeps it. Nope.
Ward throwing, Smiley just over his head.
Sonny Ward's pass for Levi. Smiley is incomplete.
He is a big target at 6'4", so you can understand why he's the safety net for Sonny Ward.
Yes. I thought he was going to jump up and grab that thing.
Look, you talked about how comfortable Sonny Ward has been. Jeremy Flug told us every stop previously, my quarterback's been on the All-State team.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I think that just speaks to his ability to develop athletes as well. It sounds like he spent a lot of time playing quarterback in high school growing up. And I think you can see that in the way he's able to develop and work with some of the quarterbacks on his teams this year and in years past.
Offsides on Deer Park will give 5 yards to Purcell Marian. Yeah, quarterback for Jeremy Flug back in the day, along with linebacker. Offensive coordinator Seth Williams, also a QB, of course, quarterback coach Quincy Barrett. So Sonny Ward's getting advice from all angles here.
Yes, he is. Probably some pretty good advice as well.
Throwing, end zone, Neal right through his hands. Brings up 3rd and 5. Purcell Marian can still get a first down, but the first down marker right around the 3-4 yard line.
Third down at 5.
Behind the
through
throw.
his fingertips, yeah.
Seth Williams, the offensive coordinator, calls the plays. The first year that Jeremy Flug has not called plays as the head coach. We'll see what Williams dials up.
And it sounds like that was something that was hard for him to give up.
That's right.
On that call when we were talking to him.
He's calling the defensive plays.
Yes.
On the ground, Harris. He's bouncing to the outside. He's got the edge, and he's got the end zone.
Touchdown, Cavaliers.
This offense is humming.
The right side 8 yards and a Cavalier touchdown.
Guzman was the only man there who had a shot at Harris. That's just too much speed.
Not too much, yeah. He got out there.
First touchdown for J.L. Harris. After 5 last season, coming to the final 5 games. They go for 2 this time. Ward is flushed out. Little pitch, and right behind Harris. That is an incomplete pass.
I think the other thing that's nice to see is the 3 Cavalier touchdowns are from 3 different individuals. So to see that we've got options of a number of guys that we can send out there and make plays is nice.
We'll echo it again, no shortage of weapons.
Yep.
Top 4 receivers from last year, all back. And that's why they feel so confident that they can get to the playoffs, and not just get there, but start to win some games as well.
Which again,
Well, this area has developed so much. Of course, the stadium being built over the last year or 2, but this is what it looked like back in the day. Back in your day, maybe?
Yeah, back in my day.
Okay.
There was that funeral home that, like Andy Farson said, he went every year to the funeral home, knocking on their door, asking and saying, hey, I don't necessarily have the money, but if you guys ever sell, please let me know and we'll try to come up with the money. So, again, it's something that us at Purcell Marian have been talking about for years. I can remember back in '97 when I was here. Oh, are they going to sell that funeral home? Are we going to buy that funeral home? And again, it has finally happened after everybody thought it would never happen. And now we have this beautiful campus, this beautiful field in Staubach Stadium that the Cavaliers are going to love playing in for years and years to come.
You mentioned how they started getting donations out of the blue without even asking for anything. That's how much of a snowball this really was. You know, Harry and Linda Fath, philanthropists in the area, they made a big donation, an opening gift of $1 million, a closing gift of $1 million.
Yeah. And I thought it was interesting, Andy's story about, you know, asking for that closing gift. And the Fasts were like, well, nobody's ever asked us for a closing gift.
You could be the first.
That's right. You get to be the first and make it happen in a big way.
Well, they announced in January of 2022 that the stadium, it was coming, and it would open in the fall of 2023, and here we are. First game at Staubach Stadium. They finally have a home on campus after 96 years of school history. That is picked up in a fumble, but it goes out of bounds. What a shot on the kick. Nori Hayes went up for it and took a lick. Jahir Gilliam on the hit, and unfortunately for Purcell Marian, just bounded right out of bounds.
Yeah, very close to the sideline there. Looked like a pretty textbook tackle there, too. Got low, drove his shoulder through the guy.
And this crowd has been juiced up enough already. That would have taken the proverbial roof off this place.
That would have. If we would have been able to land on that before going out of bounds.
Well, the apparent onside try fails for Purcell Marian despite a good effort, and Deer Park takes over in Cavaliers territory. Parsons spinning out. Egbert tracks him down, and an extra hit as well by Gilliam.
We do have a flag on the field.
Parsons in the ball carrier. Personal foul targeting.
That is targeting on Purcell Marian.
Against Cavs.
Personal foul will tack on 15 yards and give Deer Park an even better chance to respond here on this drive.
Push the ball all the way down to the.
Now 1st and 10 at the 28 of Purcell Marian.
Let's see what this Cavalier defense is made of.
They forced timely turnovers last year, 13 interceptions and 3 fumble recoveries. Out of the shotgun again.
It's looking down.
Parsons down the sideline, trying to hook up with Armour. He may have made the catch, but he was out of bounds. What an effort by Brody Armour, but incomplete. A little bit shaken up on the play near that concrete.
Yeah, I think we might need a donation for some pads along that wall there.
I think
it looked
he
like
caught
he brought that down, yeah.
And that foot was very close to the sideline. Here's Calvin Johnson again in his 7th season as the head coach for Deer Park. Knew he was bringing his team into a hostile environment tonight.
You know, and that's got to be difficult for them as well, to come in here, all the theatrics on the field as they're over there waiting and getting ready to play and keeping their guys ready to play can be difficult.
Blackley right up the middle and stuffed right away. Ian Phillips, the senior linebacker at 5'10", 210, was a brick wall.
Tackle play by Egbert.
Ian Phillips and his cousin Watho Phillips at linebacker performing very well so far. The student section, worth noting, is on this end of the field where Deer Park is driving, so a little bit louder.
A little bit additional support from the students. They're over there stomping feet, getting loud.
3rd down. Denson lines up behind Parsons. Parsons keeps. Going to the sideline, he dropped the ball. Still in play, and Parsons somehow circles back to pick it up. From first down to potential turnover, Deer Park keeps it, but it is fourth down.
That was a very athletic move by him to be able to circle around and pick that back up.
That ball came high on him, and he just let it squirt loose.
Kicked it around a little bit, got back to it. Had about 3 Cavaliers waiting there just to grab it if he didn't get it.
That was a sitting duck right on the sideline, but Parsons retrieves and gives Deer Park a chance on fourth down. With the kicking struggles for both teams tonight, 4-down territory extended. Parsons to pass. Lofty near the end zone, incomplete, and a turnover on downs.
Intended for Lincoln. Broken up by Saunders. And the Cavaliers take them on down.
Jayon Saunders, the safety, got the deflection, nearly the interception. Probably a good thing. He didn't pick it off because Purcell Marian takes over past the 20 where the ball was.
Yep, because if he would have grabbed that down there, it would have been a long field.
That's right.
From their own 23-yard line.
Parsons is being asked to pass so much more than he did the last couple of years. He only averaged 5 passes per game. And according to reports from their scrimmages, passing 15 to 20 times per game now. So a new look Deer Park offense. Sonny Ward and this Purcell Marian offense back to work. Directing traffic, lobs it to Smiley, but he drops it. And Ward took a hit as well.
On the far side of the field.
The lineman Justin Hudson was all the way down the field.
Ineligible receiver downfield against the
And it was Hudson who leaped too far down the field. All the way from left tackle.
That's sometimes easy to do when you're just focused on your job and blocking that guy in front of you.
It sounds like you speak from experience.
Sometimes you get excited and you just drive him. So.
5-yard penalty to be first and 15.
But normally the next day when you get yelled at in films a couple times about it, you'll learn to pay a little closer attention.
Jeremy Flug will probably point that out tomorrow.
I think he will.
Offensive linemen just all want to be receivers, that's right?
That's it. Something like that.
Ward will pass again. Plenty of time.
Big throw.
High arcing throw. And it's pulled down. Just short of the 45. Jayon Saunders came back for it.
And he had a couple guys on him. That was a great job going up there and getting it.
That was a rainbow pass, but Saunders had plenty of space to work back to the ball.
A couple Deer Park defenders had their eye on it as well. It's a great job pulling it down.
Guzman with another tackle. And Purcell Marian on the move again. They've scored on all 3 of their possessions so far. Quick pass, Smiley on the catch. Breaking tackles all the way to midfield. Got a few extra yards with that athleticism and strength and some extra words as well.
Yeah, I mean, with this first game, seeing his yards after catch has been pretty awesome. And if he can keep that up all year, he's going to definitely be a force. Because it's one thing to catch the ball, it's another thing, catch it, tuck it, and go.
He is the highest touted recruit or prospect on this Purcell Marian team, getting FBS offers from Akron and Kent State, FCS looks from Wofford, UT Martin, and you can certainly see why.
Yeah, and I'm sure that some of those programs can throw another 20 or 30 pounds on him and truly make him a force in there.
Yeah, 225 is pretty big already for a tight end and D-end. This is Quentin Hunter, the senior. And a first down, easy pickup for Purcell Marian to move the chains. What have you liked so far about this Purcell Marian offense?
I like the options, like we've talked about. You know, the fact that they've had 3 different guys score. You know, to be able for them and Jeremy, Coach Flug, to be able to pick of what's going on, what's he going to do, which of his, you know, weapons he's going to use, this play or that play, I think has been great to see.
We've seen Hunter, we've seen Saunders, Harris, Egbert, Neal, Smiley, all with catches so far, or rushes. Ward working to the far side of the field and chucks it out of bounds.
Because I would say, especially back when I played in the late 90s, we didn't have a lot of options. You know, we had guys that were receivers, but maybe not the best at catching, and so we really relied on that running game. And so for these guys to see them truly have options and receivers that are out there catching is good to see. And again, it just helps out the offense so much more.
Well, Purcell Marian known for its running game last year, relatively balanced, but they did run more than they passed. But a record-setting passing offense for Jeremy Flug when he was the coach at Woodward last year. And he's brought that philosophy to Purcell Marian in his first season. Looking for Smiley, no, Neal, and it was behind him. Neal wants a flag, but it's not coming.
Ward's pass, credit for Neal. It's incomplete, bringing up third down at 10. Cavaliers.
Chance for Deer Park to get off the field, which they just haven't been able to do tonight. Empty backfield again for Ward. 5 receivers. Ward pumps, throws, over the head of Smiley and picked. Got some room on the sideline. That is Tink Sellers. Down to the 15 and finally wrestled out of bounds. It was Smiley on the in-breaking route. The pass was sailed and Sellers was right there.
Got a couple flags on the field as well.
Looks like they will be on the return. The Purcell Marian defense is coming out. And the flag well behind the line of scrimmage where the Cavaliers were on offense. A lot of flags so far tonight.
You know, like Coach said, a little sloppy play at the beginning of the season. All the hype around this game. They're going to work out some kinks. They're going to have some things to talk about in film tomorrow.
Well, yeah, we talk about the hype of the game, the anticipation. It's the season opener, so there's naturally going to be some sloppy play early in the year. And when you have 1,200 plus eyeballs watching you, that tends to make it a little tougher.
And again, that's something that the Cavaliers and probably Deer Park as well aren't used to, of a packed stadium like this, and all the excitement and all the hoorah. So I think they're figuring it out. And like I said, they'll go into video, they'll go into films tomorrow, they'll have some conversations, they'll talk about some things at practice, and they'll get it figured out.
It was a blindside block on the interception return.
We have a dead ball, unsportsmanlike penalty against Deer Park.
Heck of a stiff arm right there from Sellers. Deer Park also picked up an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty after the play. So a lot of penalty yards will push Deer Park all the way back inside their own 25 after it looked like they would be around the 15 of Purcell Marian. Parsons hands off to Denson. Not too many carries for Jay-Sean Denson so far. They call him the bus for Deer Park. I mean, just look at his size. This guy is built.
He is. Saw him when they were warming up, and that just doesn't look like the type of guy I want to get in front of to make a tackle.
Maybe back in the day, but not now.
I don't know about either one.
It's his first year as the #1 guy. Deer Park lost their top running back, all-state running back, Kendall Luckett, to graduation in Georgetown College. Parsons pitches late and stood up after a gain of about 1. E.J. Gorey picked up the pitch, did not pick up much yardage, and it brings up 3rd down.
Looks like we might have an injured Cavalier.
That is Watho Phillips down on the play, right about the 45-yard line.
So I had a chance to talk with Coach Flug Thursday. I stopped by the school, and you know, I was reading a lot of his interview and him coming to Purcell, and a lot of it talked about his ability to develop athletes. If you look at, you know, some of the stuff that he's done with his kids, his players over the years, and how many of them are getting, you know, district honors or sectional honors or state honors, for that matter of fact. So I think for our program, it's great to have him here, to see him come in and be able to work with these guys and develop them. And again, I think he's doing a great job. You can see the different talent, the guys that are flying around, and the stuff that they're doing. And just even, you know, Luke Shoemaker, amazing kid, amazing family. To see him out there hanging out with Roger Staubach and doing that whole thing, you know, I think just speaks to what Coach Flug is doing and how he's working with this program to really get them back on track and get that culture and that vibe back here in Cavalier country.
Watho Phillips being helped off the field, actually doing it under his own power now. But yeah, you talk about the culture he's trying to build. He wants them to be hard-nosed. He wants them to be gritty. And every coach is going to say that, right? Yeah. To a certain degree, but it's another thing to go out there and do it. You look at the scoreboard and some of the plays that they've made so far, they've executed that.
They have. They have. And again, I think that just shows that the hard work that they're putting in, the leadership from Coach Flug, and I think the kids are buying in and making it happen.
3rd and 3, Denson powers forward for a 1st down. So Deer Park gets a timely interception after Purcell Marian was on the move. Trying to cut it back to a 1-score game after Purcell Marian scored on its first 3 drives. Opening night at Staubach Stadium. Season opener. Parsons, keeper, stiff arm, and finally wrestled down by 3 defenders.
And I don't think we've mentioned it yet, but the Hackberry Assassins, as we are called. It's a name that came out. I think somebody looked up an article from like 1957 where they were writing an article after a game and they referred to us as the Hackberry Assassins. So when you got 3 of the Cavaliers there attacking that quarterback, my brain immediately goes to the Hackberry Assassins. And that was something that we all kind of got behind when we were all playing here. And I know it's an important part of and a motivating factor, especially for the defense of the Cavaliers.
Hackberry Assassins, is that the next Purple People Eaters or Steel Curtain? Yeah, that moniker, huh? Denson has a huge hole right up the middle and down to the 40-yard line of Purcell Marian. A flag behind the play.
You got the student section going crazy.
Yeah, I think there's a news camera over there. And holding will bring it back. They really liked the holding call, apparently.
Yes, they See that of the local TV station that's getting them all hyped up.
Well, talking to our sideline guy, Chris Wilkie, Andy Farsing before the game, it's the 3rd day of school today. They started on Wednesday. So the fact that they get to come experience a home football game on campus for the first time, they're back to school, there's just a vibe, there's an energy, and they brought it tonight.
Yes, they did. Now, I was talking to a couple different teachers the whole week, and they were just saying, ever since Wednesday, the kids coming back, it's just been crazy at school. I mean, just them trying to keep the kids in the classroom and with a level head and starting the school year off has been crazy just because of all this. So not only the football players, but all the students too are just very excited about this.
On 2nd and 11, Blackley hits a stone wall. And on the tackle again, Devin Bedgood. This is a young offensive line for Deer Park. Mainly a triple option team in the past. They run a version of that still out of the shotgun. But if you're going to be so reliant on the run game, you need the big boys up front, as you know,
yes,
to do their job. And that's a question mark coming into the season for Deer Park.
Yeah, with them being young, they're going to come in, they're going to make some mistakes. Hopefully they can get that under control for them and their season. And, you know, it's only looking good for their future, too, with those guys.
Parsons will pass this time. Got an open man, but he overthrows him. A little bit late on the release as well. And Kyle Langdon, springing free, was unable to make the catch.
Brings up a big 4th and 11.
Looks like they'll punt it away. Parsons has double duty. He's a punter, a triple duty. Punter, linebacker, and the quarterback.
Guy's got to be in great shape.
He is an athlete. We mentioned he's a catcher on the baseball team.
Timeout, Cavaliers. That is their first charge.
Timeout, Purcell Marian, and Jeremy Flug is not very happy about something on the sideline.
Might be some personnel issues and who's supposed to be out there, who wasn't out there. But you're right, he was not very happy about that.
Well, Purcell Marian fans celebrate homecoming week September 25th through 29th with events for each unique school. September 25th is Regina night. The 26th is Purcell night. 27th is the St. Mary's brunch. The 28th is Marian night, and the 29th is the Purcell Marian homecoming football game. In total, including Purcell Marian, 5 separate schools, a rich history for this school over 96 years, all combining into Purcell Marian back in 1981. And again, a beacon of growth. That's really what this football stadium represents here tonight. Ever since Andy Farsing taken over, the growth has just skyrocketed for this school. And the stadium epitomizes that.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. A lot of people, I mean, you saw him talking it before the game. He's just, you know, he's got all kinds of energy, very excitement. He's got a passion for this school, and it shows.
Pretty good punt from Parsons. Will drop just shy of the 20 and down by Armour. So 57 seconds to work with here for Purcell Marian. It's been a majority pass so far tonight for the Cavaliers offense. They'll have to pass it almost every down now as they go into their 2-minute drill. Look at those passing yards. I mean, that tells the story.
That's pretty great. 169 yards for the Cavaliers, 0 for the Wildcats.
Very strong start for the aerial attack this year for the Cavaliers. They averaged just 131 yards through the air per game last season.
Ball on the field.
Ward picks it up, somehow spins out of it, still on his feet, got some space, and has enough room to throw it away. A late stick from Kyle Langdon, no flag. But Sonny Ward works some miracles right there to just get rid of it.
I was going to say, for him to keep his feet there after having to pick that ball back up off the turf.
So that stops the clock at 47 seconds. Cavaliers have 2 timeouts left here at the end of the first half, up 18-6 in the season opener against Deer Park. Here's Ward to throw. Right up the gut to Smiley. In stride, going towards the sideline, and yes, he does get out of bounds.
the 40-yard line, good enough for a Cavalier touchdown.
Need a couple more big plays like that.
It seems like the first guy is just not able to bring him down when he catches the ball.
Seems like he could probably carry a guy or two.
37 catches for Smiley last year and 10 touchdowns. Had the first one tonight, 44 yards. Clock stopped at 40 seconds, 1st and 10. And they will run. TJ Young breaks it loose and has another first down across midfield. TJ Young tore his ACL in a scrimmage last year. Would have gotten some varsity action as a freshman, but was robbed of that opportunity. And he's the second punch behind Harris. Big punch right there on the hit from Parsons. Timeout, Purcell Marian stops it at 32 seconds. I mean, what a picture-perfect night. You mentioned it earlier with the weather, but I don't see a cloud in the sky. It's very pleasant out.
It's actually a little chilly. I'm a little cold.
You've got a long sleeve on.
No, it is an amazing. I mean, this is a great night for football. The weather, the atmosphere, everything. Sun's going down. This would be an ideal evening for me to play a football game. And to be able to do it here on Hackberry Street is special.
New home on Hackberry. Final drive of the half for Purcell Marian. 1st down and 10. Ward directing traffic. Pressure right up the middle. Evades it. Ward with some space. Lobbing. And connects with Saunders. Ward's elusiveness has created all types of opportunities.
I'll tell you, it just gives me chills seeing him back there directing traffic, telling guys, pushing them, waving where to go, and making things happen. That's
32-yard line, and Cavaliers timeout. That is their third.
And another timeout for Purcell Marian. Their last timeout of the half. It's 1st down and 10 from the 32. So it's going to be even more important for them with 13 seconds left to get to the sideline and try and set themselves up a little bit closer to the end zone or for a field goal. Saunders still
we know
looking
that
a little bit after
game
that.
Isn't,
Go ahead.
That kicking game isn't really functioning right now, so that settling for a field goal, I don't know if that's going to be an option for them, but let's see what they can make.
Yeah, no extra points converted so far tonight.
No.
It's been all 6s. Figure Purcell Marian has a couple of plays to the end zone of the sideline with 13 seconds left. Harris in the backfield with Ward. Gilliam is the lone receiver near side. Ward looking right, chucks it deep, nobody home, and almost intercepted by Gorey. So 7 seconds left, most likely one play remaining in the half.
We'll see what Coach Flew can draw up.
Purcell Marian scored on its first 3 drives of the half. Deer Park responded after trailing 12-0 with a touchdown. Cavaliers looking for a late score. Empty backfield. And here's Ward. Blitz coming. Ward steps out to his right, trying to buy time. Parsons tracking him down from behind. Lob towards the end zone and broken up. Guzman reached in, and that'll do it for the first half.
Looking score, your Cavaliers 18, the Wildcats 6.
Well, I'll tell you, that's a great way to start the game off, the first half. Cavaliers ahead, 18-6. Couldn't have asked for a better way to start the game.
The first ever night Staubach Stadium, and Purcell Marian leads Deer Park 18-6 at halftime. Our coverage of the first home for Purcell Marian Athletics and Purcell Marian football will continue at halftime. What a first half it was for the Cavaliers. Had a paratrooper. We had Roger Staubach, 1960 grad, back in the house. Levi Smiley with the first touchdown. It's been all Cavaliers so far.
Purcell Marian is a welcoming high school where our students have made a point to say, "I belong." We are a Catholic community providing an inclusive and diverse learning environment and is the only local private school offering the International Baccalaureate program. And an engaged faculty and staff makes it easy to see why students and families have felt that they belong at Purcell Marian.
I belong.
I belong. I belong. You belong too.
I belong. It's what we hear again and again from our students at Purcell Marian. It's because we help our students make the most of their experience with intriguing study opportunities and inclusive activities. It's because Purcell Marian is the only local private school offering the International Baccalaureate program. For 95 years, Purcell Marian has been a leading choice for students seeking a private high school education.
We belong.
It is so great to have you with us on a gorgeous night in Cincinnati. The new home on Hackberry, Staubach Stadium, named after the legendary quarterback Roger Staubach, and Purcell Marian, in its first ever true home game, leads Deer Park 18-6. Jack Kaiser, Nick Schuckman with you tonight from Cincy. Chris Wilkie also joins us on the sidelines, and he is joined by two former Purcell Marian coaches, Herb Woosteet and Tom Stickley.
All right, Purcell Marian community, I am here with two legends of not only the Purcell Marian community, but the Purcell Marian football community. I'm here with Coach Herb Woosteet, who was the head coach of the Purcell Marian Cavaliers when we won the state title in 1986, and Tom Stickley, longtime Purcell Marian teacher, admin, coach, man about the community. So we're here to talk a little bit about Purcell Marian, what this field means. So guys, I just want to ask you real quickly, like, what does it mean as former head coaches to see this field right now in our community, in our background? So I'm going to hand it over to you first, Herb.
A lot of pride. You know, just to know that this was possible. 5 years ago, it wasn't, and for 95 years of our school history, it was not possible. But for us to see the alumni come together with all of the donations they've made to make this possible, because this was all done with donations. The Archdiocese didn't come in and put any big kind of money, if any money, into this particular stadium. So for the alumni and for our past players who didn't have this, I feel a lot of pride.
And it was an amazing community effort, and I want to say that all of it has helped generate even more pride and even more engagement with the alumni to support academic programming, postgraduate programming. It's had an amazing ripple effect as well. So like you said, with this amazing alumni support, it's just been we're getting the ball rolling, and it's just going to keep going. Coach Stickley, how about you? What does this field mean to you, sir?
Pretty much the same thing. First of all, alumni. Herb and I are both alums. My own father was an alum. My 4 kids are alums. And they're all here, except for one's a firefighter. He can't be here. But everyone's here just looking around going, this is so amazing for our school and for our kids and our parents. And as Herb said, there's no one better in the world than Cavalier alumni. They are so loyal. They made this whole project possible by their generosity, as well as other donors, not just Cavaliers, but for the most part Cavaliers. And we are all, everyone I talked to tonight is just in awe of the whole situation. It's just a beautiful thing.
It is incredibly exciting. And to see all the alums of all ages re-engaging, I mean, we're on a roll here. We've had the boys basketball team in the state championship 4 or 5 years ago. Our girls basketball team has won state 2 years in a row. We've qualified for the playoffs 3 times. Purcell Marian is rolling with the IB program, with the Career Initiatives program. This school is experiencing a renaissance. And that alumni engagement and support from the community, it is truly, truly a powerful, powerful experience. But speaking of powerful experiences, Herb, I'd like to ask you, like, the field is named after Guy Baratieri.
Yes.
Former player of yours.
Yes.
What does that mean to you to have this field named after one of our great veterans and one of our great Cavalier alums?
Absolutely a hero. I loved his leadership when he was here and his leadership at the academy. And it couldn't have been named after a better person than Guy Baratieri. I love the kid. Like I said, he was a captain for me, did a great job during the '86 championship year, and he also did the following year when he was captain to lead us to another winning season.
Exactly. Amazing, amazing man, amazing legacy, going to live on forever in the hearts of Cavaliers everywhere. You know, Coach Dickley, is there anything about when you look at this field and see this, is there anything that catches your eyes like, wow, that's a really special part of this facility that just catches your eye?
Well, it's beautiful. I mean, it's so well done. But when you put a facility like this in any neighborhood, it just elevates the whole neighborhood, the whole community. And you've got all this new building going on across the street. And, you know, enrollment's going to be rising, has been rising lately. So it's just another way of saying that we're here on Hackberry Street and we're alive. And we're alive and producing great kids, great athletes, great students, great scholars. It's a great school.
You know, you said 2 things that really caught my attention. And, you know, the first one being, you know, it embraces and improves the entire community. What was great, and we want to thank all of the members of the Evanston and Walnut Hills community, because we had meetings with them and they gave us input and they supported us and they walked with us. We want to be good neighbors to them. They've been fantastic neighbors to us. So we also want to thank the community as well. The second thing is when you look around and you see the quality of the craftsmanship, Messer Construction, MSR Architects did such an amazing job. We so appreciate all the work that they have done and what they've given in and how it's going to help out the school. Our enrollment is up over 100 students over the past 4 years. When other Catholic schools are struggling to see their enrollment go up, we're actually going up. We're well over where we expected to be when we looked at projections a few years ago. I believe we crested 400 this year. Enrollments we've had, we've got our biggest ranks in 15 years. These are good times for Purcell Marian High School.
That's awesome.
So that goes for players. Any words for your for any other members of the Cavalier community that you'd like to share?
Well, as far as this field is concerned, this is going to be a game changer, okay? You've indicated that the enrollment is coming up. More people are interested. For years, we had to compete against McNicholas and Roger Bacon that both had stadiums. McNick didn't have one till 5 years ago. But ever since that particular time, we've had to compete for student athletes. This will give us a big leg up in order to get the kind of student athletes that we need here. And once we get that group together, there's no limit to what we can accomplish, not only in the classroom, but here on this field. Right. And hopefully another state championship, because we're in the right division now for the size school that we are in.
Without a doubt, without a great point. And speaking of GPAs, I also want to point out our girls basketball team had one of the highest GPAs of any high school in the state of Ohio when they won the state championship last year. Absolutely. Our girls are fantastic. All right, Coach, anything you want to pass on to the community?
Just one more thing about alumni. You mentioned Messer, Matt Barney, an alum, is a big deal over at Messer, and is just a great Cavalier, a great UD Flyer, I might add, too. Our principal, Andy Farsing, great guy. Played football for Herb and I when we were coaches back in the day. Went to XU, has been back here and just working his butt off and re-engaging with a ton of alums and bringing them all back here. And then, as Herb and I both said earlier, they're opening their wallets and they're saying, yes, we believe in what you're doing. And look at it. Again, it's just beautiful. It is beautiful.
Absolutely. Awesome work. We are a blessed community. We got a lot of good people. That Marianist tradition is alive and well. So, gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it so much.
Keep up the good work.
Oh, always. Always, without a doubt. Coach Weasty, thank you so much. All right, we are done down here. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you later.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Chris. What a night so far here at the new home on Hackberry. Purcell Marian High School is a Marianist community where excellence in education is pursued through diverse offerings bolstered by the International Baccalaureate Program, a rigorous course of study designed to uncover a student's passion and advance their critical thinking. Shadow visits for prospective students begin next month. Schedule your visit to the Castle starting September 12th. Visit www.purcellmarian.org/admissions to learn more. Halftime here in Cincinnati and at Staubach Stadium, 18-6, Purcell Marian on top.
Purcell Marian is a welcoming high school where our students have made a point to say, I belong. We are a Catholic community providing an inclusive and diverse learning environment and is the only local private school offering the International Baccalaureate Program. And an engaged faculty and staff makes it easy to see why students and families have felt that they belong at Purcell Marian.
I belong.
I belong. I belong. You belong too.
I belong. It's what we hear again and again from our students at Purcell Marian. It's because we help our students make the most of their experience with intriguing study opportunities and inclusive activities. It's because Purcell Marian is the only local private school offering the International Baccalaureate Program. For 95 years, Purcell Marian has been a leading choice for students seeking a private high school education.
We belong.
Over the scoreboard. I don't believe it. The ball was thrown short.
Roger Staubach from Cincinnati, Ohio, the greatest in Navy history.
I never dreamed that anything like this would happen to me.
Tremendous father, tremendous person among the people of his community, was a tremendous football player.
I got to high school and a coach there by the name of Jim McCarthy decided that I possessed something that was in the quarterback mold, so he decided to switch me to quarterback.
Roger.
The coach is back to Purcell High School. The players I played with at Purcell, and everyone that's in this stadium today is part of the feeling that I have right now that it's fantastic. I love every daggone second of it. Thank you.
Well, the having the opportunity to go to school and get an education, it couldn't have been better than I was very fortunate. Went to a great grade school, St. John's, and then I had a fantastic high school in Purcell. And Purcell and each one, the grade school helped me make sure I did okay in Purcell, and Purcell sure helped me to make sure I did things well in the Naval Academy. Then all those schools together have been my life, from business, from family, so I was very, very fortunate to have great schools, and Purcell was fantastic. The sacrifices that teachers make, and people sometimes don't realize how important teachers feel about their students, and And I really think Purcell, we had a combination back then. We had some brothers, but we had great teachers, and it's they're there to educate you and to make sure your life is going in the right direction, and I think you ought to, you sure should stay grateful from it. And the good fortune though was, I mean, Purcell was just had great teachers and good people, and there's a lot of schools that are, but Purcell's as good as it gets.
A beautiful night in Cincinnati. It's the first true home game in Purcell Marian football history. A sold-out crowd of over 1,200. And Captain Comeback, Captain America himself, Roger Staubach, in attendance to throw out the ceremonial first pass. We had paratroopers, we had everything pregame. He's still got a gun, Roger Staubach, 81 years old, still got some zip on the ball. It has been a fun night so far. Purcell Marian delivering to this point, up 18-6. It is so great to have you with us, and let's send it down to our man Chris Wilkie once again on the sidelines, who continues to roll.
All right, Cavalier community, we are back here, and I've got two more legends in the Purcell Marian community, in the Purcell Marian football community. I've got Cliff Pope and Derek Sanders, former players. Cliff also happened to be a former coach as well here at Purcell Marian. Derek, I don't recall, did you coach here? I apologize, I should have known that. Then you did coach here. All right, that's cool, awesome. Well, as former players, I would love to have your perspective. How is this field impacting you? You know, you see this community, you see the community show up. How's this impacting you?
Well, I mean, it's great. It's great for all the former players, really all the former coaches. I don't think people really understand what we went through at Purcell Marian to win. I mean, to win at football without a field, without a practice field. And so, you know, you see this stadium here, and like me and a lot of alum have talked about all night, it's surreal. You can't believe you're actually seeing it. Because we know old guys like me, you know, I'm 54, so, but the old guys like me, we understand what it took to practice every day, what it took, you know, to get ready for games and to beat good teams, and so, which is really, you know, a tribute to Coach Wiesteen and a lot of the coaches that we had. So it means quite a bit.
I remember coaching freshman football here, walking down to the triangle, getting the guy. It was barely even a field, for crying out loud. Or driving the bus to all over Creation, getting a place to play. So, Derek, how about you? What does the field mean to you, sir?
Man, it's amazing. I mean, just to see the players, the fans, the people, just the whole neighborhood come together, it's amazing. It's truly a great sight. I mean, it's a dream come true. This is something I couldn't imagine. You know, just like Cliff said, you know, seeing all the players, all the work, all the hard dedication we put in, you know, it's just amazing. It's a great feeling, and I'm just happy to be part of it today.
Awesome. I couldn't agree more. Working here for the last few years, seeing it grow and build over the time, it's been absolutely amazing just to see the dream just coming together little by little by little. It truly is. I'm with you. It is a dream come true. All right. Derek, you were a starter on the '86 state championship team, right? Yes. What, you know, can you give us a great memory from, you know, if we could go back in history and transplant that memory onto this stadium, but can you share a memory with us?
The great memory is just first tackle made. That's what.
First tackle made.
You know, the first tackle made, and just climbing off the pile, just knowing that you can get it done. That, you know, this is always a great feeling to me. I mean, I don't really particularly have one special moment. Just getting in there and mixing it up and having a great time on the field with the players and my friends. You know.
And when you think about the players, the camaraderie, seeing these guys just being able to literally walk out our back door onto the field, just create that focus. it's just going to be amazing, absolutely amazing as we move forward. Cliff, how about you? Any great memories of Cavalier football that you're coming to mind right now? I know you got a few to choose from. Coach or player, which one do you want to go with?
Quite a few. We were here, Derek and I, we've been the best of buddies since 9th grade football here, playing for John Weissong, you know, God rest his soul, our freshman football coach. But, you know, tons of memories as a player, tons of memories. Just, we're all still, you know, we're in our 50s now, we're all still close buddies, and we still do things. As a coach, you know, I coached here for 15, 16 years, and, you know, it's where I learned how to coach, thanks to Coach Weisty. Just great memories, great memories. The 97 win against Roger Bacon, I think the 94 win against Bacon. We just, you know, nobody ever really respected us, and, you know, until we beat them. And so, you know, and I loved it, and I loved playing here, and I think I loved it even more coaching here because I had the ability to just be around so many great players, so many great players. And so,
and we got more great players coming down the pipeline. Having a great facility like this is hopefully going to attract even more. Well, gentlemen, I cannot thank you enough for your time. It is always a pleasure to hang out with amazing Cavaliers. All right, thank you all so much. All right, we're done.
Thank you, Chris. Cliff Pope, Derek Sanders down there with Chris Wilkie, providing some perspective on being Purcell Marian grads and members of the 1986 championship team in the house for the first night at Staubach Stadium. We've had some great camera angles, including this one with our drone. Some great football as well, especially from the Purcell Marian side. And Sonny Ward, junior transfer from Norwood, in the same conference, the Miami Valley Conference, and he is delivering so far in his first game of the Cavaliers.
Comfortable back there. With, again, 3 days into the school year, a lot of these guys he only met maybe a month or two ago. He's just a natural leader, getting in there, making things happen.
And he's connected with Levi Smiley a few times. He's shown why he is a Division I recruit. Sonny Ward's been shifty and creating some time and space for his receivers to get loose has led to opportunities. There was his rushing touchdown, the second of the game for Purcell Marian. Here are the first half stats, and Nick, 200 passing yards to none. That's really the difference.
That's huge, and that's big for this Cavalier program. Because like you said, historically we're a running team, and so to see 200 yards passing is pretty incredible.
Deer Park has outgained Purcell Marian on the ground, but they have really not passed a ton so far tonight. They haven't had the ball for very long because of these long Purcell Marian drives that ate up that first half clock. 18-6 the score at halftime. We are just about to get underway in the second half. The season opener, third straight year with this matchup. The magic mark the last 2 years for Purcell Marian has been 16 points. 16-8 win last year over Deer Park. 16-13 the year before that. They have 18 in the first half.
That's right, and they're going to keep on marching. They're going to come out of the halftime, and they're going to be fired up. They're going to be ready to go. You know, Jeremy is down there keeping them excited, keeping them pumped up, and hopefully we can come out and set the tone right away and make some things happen.
Levi Smiley's been a huge part of this aerial attack.
That's a beautiful sight right there.
Oh,
look at that
goodness.
field.
I mean, seriously, the work from this crew and these camera angles has been so fantastic tonight. And, I mean, these drone shots are gorgeous.
Yeah.
The plan came together in 2020. They announced in January of 2022 that it would open in the fall of 23, and here we are tonight. Staubach Stadium, the first football stadium on campus for Purcell Marian, who used to have to bounce around the city. They had home games in quotation marks, but this is their first true home game. Sold out crowd, 1,200 plus.
And it was so nice to hear from some of those coaches, because the coaches we heard from are all coaches that I had when I was here. And just knowing you know, after school, Coach Nerl and Coach Weisty would jump on the bus with us, drive us down there. The other coaches would jump in their personal vehicles, drive down there. We would practice, and then everybody, you know, jump in the cars and come back. So I know for those coaches to be here and to see this and to witness this, I know it's special for them. And like they said, it is special for so many of us because the potential of this, we've all talked about over the years, our 4 years here and many years after. And so the fact that we were able to make it happen is just special for a lot of guys that are here.
And of course, it can't be lost. Like you mentioned, the effort of the coaches, but the success and the effort of the players like you back in the day, that's the foundation for making this happen. And of course, the fundraising and the donations and all that have come together the last few years. But this is a high school, a program with a rich history. And it seems like this community deserves this, and it's all come together.
Yeah. And you can tell just with, I mean, the amount of alumni and guys that I play with that are here tonight that I've seen shaking hands and talking to has been pretty incredible.
We're now joined by the president, founder of Tupelo Honey, John Cervisi. Great to have you with us here, John.
Thank you, Jack. It's good to be here, Nick. You're doing all right, man.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
This is all new, and what a sensational thing for Purcell Marian, guys. I got to tell you, you know, getting my start in broadcasting, now doing what I love to do. You know, 100% because of Purcell Marian. I was sitting down on the sideline before with Cliff Pope and Tom Stickley and Herb Weisty, and just, you know, the pride that these guys have in this program, and being back here. They're all on to other things now, or retired, and, you know, coming back and seeing this and just feeling the excitement in this place tonight, it's just been awesome. Just been awesome.
You, like so many others in this community, know how much effort has gone into this in the background of the school. When you saw the stadium for the first time last week, what was your reaction?
I mean, honestly, it's almost hard to believe. It's been a really long time since I've been on what we can call a campus now. And to know that this was a funeral home, you know, basically where we're standing right now. And, you know, it's almost just mind-boggling to think what this campus has become. And I think, you know, he's getting a ton of credit tonight. You know, everybody around the stadium's talking, but I don't think we can say enough good things about what Andy Farsing has brought to this school, and the leadership and just the renaissance that he's led. It's amazing to see. I'm so proud of him.
Well, just the excitement in his voice and what he's doing. I mean, you've seen him talk a couple different times tonight, and just in the hallways, he is such a presence, and just everything he does, you can see his passion for Purcell Marian.
Yeah, it's amazing the number of times that I've heard Andy say, "Oh, I can do that. I can help with that." And I'm thinking, I don't know how that's even possible. There's no way you have time to do all of this, but he's somehow figuring it out.
Yes, it does. But there's also a lot of people that are saying, hey, Andy, how can we help? How can we help? And I think a lot of people are really digging in and helping out. They're, you know, being true to their word. I know people in the past kind of lip service. They say, I'm here to help out, and they don't really do it. But I think Andy's got a lot of people that are saying that, and they're stepping up and getting it done.
Yeah, the reconnect is just sensational. Yeah. And it's a great place to be. And for anyone out there listening that's like me, that hasn't been as in touch as maybe I would have liked to have been, what a great opportunity now to re-engage. And this place deserves our support, so let's do it.
Player down on the sideline here to start the second half, but we're joined by the president of Tupelo Honey, producing tonight's game, John Cervisi. John, you know better than most, and a lot of people here do, but the effort that went into this stadium, and we've tried to describe it the best we can, but there's not much space here to start in this neighborhood, and all the logistics that had to line up, all the donations that had to come in. This was a difficult task over nearly a century to get a football stadium here. It's incredible that it's finally come together, and the night that we've had, the crowd that we've had, it's pretty much perfect.
Yeah, it really is, and you can just see the foundation. You know, the 95 plus years of history. But you can see that this is a moment of arrival, and a moment that we can leap from. And this is the moment that propels this forward. And this is a part of a larger community. This is a part of a neighborhood, an East Walnut Hills neighborhood, that has needed a space like this. And, you know, Purcell Marian is a huge part of not only East Walnut Hills, but of Cincinnati. And, you know, having a home on Hackberry is, you know, it's everything.
We've mentioned how it's the home for the football team, obviously, but cheerleading, track, soccer also get to call this place home starting up in the fall.
Yeah, and honestly, even you get into some of the spring sports and, you know, baseball, softball, you know, just the opportunity to have a space where you can practice, where you can get some time outside. It's wonderful. And, you know, I am far from an athlete. I probably have a better chance of being a ball than tackling. But, you know, I mean, the reality is it doesn't take an athlete to understand the trials and tribulations that this school has gone through over all these years. And, you know, to get here, to have a moment like this, it's so richly deserved. You know, the fact that Roger Staubach was able to be here, and you know, I've heard that this is you know, sort of a begrudging acceptance of his name on this stadium, but you know, the fact that we were able to celebrate with him, someone who's meant so much to this program, you know, it's just an amazing night. It's just a great night.
What'd you think of Roger's throw pregame?
I mean, listen, I tossed the ball to my son a couple weeks ago, and I think my spine went with me when I let go of the ball. The fact that he's still doing it. Oh,
ball's loose, and it looks like it's recovered by Purcell Marian. And they played some good football so far tonight.
You would know better than I, Jack.
Scoreboard says it all, and they just got a turnover.
Maybe we should stop talking and watch some football, huh?
I don't know. Maybe we need John to keep talking.
That's right.
Good things are going to keep happening.
Magic touch here.
Well, listen. I will say this simply that Jack, you are far better at this whole night tonight from a broadcast standpoint, from a coverage standpoint. Started with my dear friend Pat Shoemaker, one of my best friends from my time at Purcell Marian, you know, calling to ask if I had an interest in maybe announcing the opening game, considering my start. And I could not be happier that we got you here and not me.
Hey, we're happy to have you on the headset. Things are looking up for the Cavaliers right now. There's a first down run, gain of 5, flag on the play.
And then you had Shoemaker call me and try to convince me to get up here, and he was successful at doing that as well.
You know, Pat's been successful at convincing a lot of people to do things.
Yes, he has.
And that's you know, that's why he's got a board seat, and why he means so much to this place.
Jeremy Flug enjoying the success of his team right now, up 18-6 to start the second half. It doesn't take a football fan to recognize the energy that was in this place when Levi Smiley had that first touchdown to open the game. This place was rocking.
Jeremy, I mean, what a great hire. You know, we talked to him a week ago or so for the first time, and you know, he's talking 10-0. You know,
yeah.
he's talking in a way that I don't know how often we've been able to talk that way.
At the start of the season, yeah, I agree.
And he believes it. It's not lip service.
Well, it seemed like the timing was perfect. They go to the playoffs 3 consecutive years. They get a lot of guys back. And with the success that he's had, especially on the offensive side of the ball, there's been so much anticipation about this team coming into the season.
And just to have that kind of momentum, and who knows, you know, it's a long season, right? It's one night tonight, but if you can get this going, you can start, you know, that spark at the beginning of the season. You can pack these stands for home games. You really just start to build something that, you know, you can't say it enough, that has been lacking for so long around here. There you go.
Harris breaks one across midfield, brought down just shy of the 45.
And the Cavs will start the year off with 4 out of their first 5 games here at home at the stadium, so that'll be nice for them to get comfortable and use it a bunch.
Well, we've been talking about the students tonight as well. This is their first home game, too, to come out and really be a true student section. So if they're experiencing this environment for the first time, that's going to make them want to come back for more.
Yeah, it was always a challenge to go to someone.
Uh-oh, here goes Harris. cut off just inside the 30.
To go to someone else's stadium, you know, during Nick and I's time, it was Norwood High School.
Yeah.
And, you know, to go in and see an N in the center of your supposed home field, you know, it just never, it never felt like an advantage.
Well, that in the locker room, too. When we're in there getting ready and you see somebody else's colors, somebody else's school name up there, it eats at you a little bit. So, again, the fact that we're doing this here and
it's really
it's
cool.
Pretty awesome.
Really cool that you got to go into the locker room. I've never been allowed in the locker room, so that's
Shookman's got some more access.
I seem to remember he got hit a little bit more than I did in those games.
Yes, I did.
I'm not saying I didn't get hit at all. I kind of ran my mouth in those days, too.
Player down for Deer Park. It is E.J. Gorey. But practice is another factor in all this. They used to have to bus you guys over to Eden Park.
Yeah, you know, we all, after school, got dressed, got your pads on, got onto a yellow school bus, and took the 10-minute drive over to Eden Park, and then unloaded, got your shoes on, and the field over there wasn't the best either. I think there was a lot of rocks. There was some broken glass, I think, that we experienced.
I mean, again, only a short time for me as a member of the team, but yeah, that wasn't the field. I mean, that was
it was always like a concrete parking lot out there.
A relatively flat area.
Right.
I do remember the hill, though. I ran that quite a few times.
Yeah. But, you know, same thing. Once practice is done, you're hot, you're sweaty. You know, you're trying to get your pads off, load up onto the bus. You know, everybody's exhausted. You got a 10-minute ride to get back to the school, shower, and get out of there. It's just a lot of work to try to have the success that we did have and that the program's having now. And so this will make it a lot easier and will allow them to focus on some other things. To help make the program take it to the next level.
Come on, an hour of your practice time isn't taken up on a bus.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's only going to be beneficial.
And I feel bad for whoever was riding that bus after the football season, because those football players sitting there sweating. Sure it was the guys' basketball team or something.
Yeah, it still stunk when we got to baseball in the spring, too.
I believe it.
But Tom, they're all driving the whole way, so.
Yeah.
Opening drive for Purcell Marian here in the second half. T.J. Young, the sophomore running back, down to about the 10-yard line, and Purcell Marian looking for more.
I don't know what Coach said in the locker room, but he got these guys motivated coming out of the half.
More of a running presence this half, too.
Yeah.
We saw the halftime stats, 200 passing yards to 0. Now they're running the rock.
Got to keep them guessing. The other thing that was a highlight, when we used to drive to Eden Park, the last session of two-a-days, we would always do the, what'd they call it? We would kind of take a drive through Eden Park. We would take the long way, the scenic route, I think they called it. And so it kind of delayed practice by about 10 minutes, and we got a nice little drive through Eden Park. I think that was the highlight of everybody in the last day of two-a-days, even though you had that highlight, and then you ended that with hitting the hill and doing lots of running.
So the hill was just for punishment?
The hill was for punishment for the most part. You know, that's what kept us in tip-top shape for that fourth quarter.
Yeah, you get a bad grade on a weekly progress report, and then you ran a lot. I think
here's Harris with the lane clearing and another touchdown for Purcell Marian.
Like I said, Coach got him fired up in that locker room. Came out strong. Set the pace for the second half.
Well, fellas, I think I did my part here.
Hey, you've got the voice for announcing, man.
Look what they're doing, John. I mean, I think we might need to keep you up here for another quarter.
You've got the smooth sounds, and you're the good luck charm, too.
And that was easy.
Yeah. I'm sure you can appreciate the holes that offensive line cleared.
It looked good. Luke Shoemaker and the rest of the boys there on the line are doing their job.
And an extra point converted for the first time tonight. Tyler Rude knocks it through.
Well, guys, can't thank you enough. Appreciate the effort by everybody tonight. Our Tupelo Honey crew just knocked this out of the park, and it was a mostly volunteer effort. There were a couple of arms twisted, but I've got a sensational team around me, and the folks in Indianapolis just do it at a high level all of the time. And it was such an honor to be a part of this first night, and you know, can't thank you guys enough for what you've brought to the show, and Wilkie down there on the sideline. I mean, he's just catching up with old friends.
Yeah, he's having a heck of a good time down there.
I think he rattled off like 7 interviews during halftime. No, but thank you, John. Likewise, it's been so great to have you up here. This production's been awesome, and perfect night, fitting.
Yeah, absolutely. Pleasure, guys. Thanks so much.
I know, John, I can speak for a lot of alumni here where I think that everybody is super thankful for you and for this, that we're going to be able to capture and have for a very, very long time, and be able to go back and look at it and experience it for people that weren't able to be here. So I know there's probably a lot of people out there that want to thank you for helping make this happen for tonight.
Absolutely, it's an honor, it's a privilege, it's fun to be re-engaged, and can't wait to see what Andy and Pat ask me for next. But I'm looking forward to it. Thanks so much, guys.
Thanks, appreciate it, John. President of Tupelo Honey. Tupelo Honey producing tonight's broadcast, John Cervisi.
So the other unique thing that we used to do the last day of 2 days is up from Eden Park, there was Mirror Lake. And so you weren't allowed to go in Mirror Lake, but the last day of 2 days, Coach Wiesty would always let us take the shoulder pads off, run up the hill, and then we would sneak in there for about 5 minutes, splash around, then we had to hurry up and get on the bus and get out of there before the Authorities game. So
that's right.
It was a cool tradition everybody looked forward to at the end of it.
Brody Armour breaks this one for Deer Park meanwhile. Jahir Gilliam trying to track him down, and he looks like he did. Stepped out of bounds at the 4-yard line. Great effort there from Gilliam to save a touchdown.
Yes, it was. He tracked him down.
Looked like Brody Armour was on his way to Mirror Lake. Another Deer Park player down behind the play. There's Gilliam. And yeah, there's the step on the sideline.
Like a 4-yard line.
Heck of an effort from Armour, though.
Yes, it was.
Deer Park looking for some momentum to try and get back in this game. Brody Armour, a senior, top returning receiver. He had more catches in their 2 scrimmages than his entire career the last 3 years, because again, Deer Park is more willing to pass out of the shotgun this season, opposed to being an under center triple option team. About 7 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter, a lot of time left. And for now, Purcell Marian has saved a touchdown with the effort of Gilliam on the kickoff return.
Need to see this defense with the same excitement the offense had here a couple minutes ago.
They've been well rested this game. Deer Park offense has not been on the field much. Denson stood up right at the line of scrimmage, maybe lost a yard. And that is gang tackling for Purcell Marian, because Denson is a load.
Yeah, that line stepped up there. Stood up that O-line, didn't allow any holes up front. Everybody getting their job done.
Another player down for Deer Park. Jayon Saunders came flying in to help with the pile and pushback. Looks like KJ Lee down for the Wildcats. You know this better than anybody. When those bodies start to get tangled, sometimes the legs become more vulnerable.
Yes, they do. There's a lot of things happening there. A lot of guys pushing and shoving. A lot of things can go wrong. I don't know if they still use this terminology anymore, but back when we were playing, they used to call us the Red Swarm as well, the defense, in terms of, attacking that ball runner.
Hackberry Assassins and the Red Swarm.
That's right.
A couple of options here.
That's right. I'll make a couple more up before the end of the night, don't worry.
All right, Lee being helped off the field. Jeremy Flug watching his defense face 2nd and goal from the 5. Came from Woodward High School, Jeremy Flug. He was there for 1 season at CCPA for the previous 3 years, and they were a Miami Valley Conference member until 2020. He was actually this conference's Coach of the Year in 2019. So again, this is not unfamiliar territory that Jeremy Flug is stepping into.
No, he's definitely very comfortable, very confident in his abilities.
On 2nd and goal. Denson's hand has a touchdown for Deer Park, and the bus has the 2nd TD for the Wildcats.
That was a great second effort from him.
And Smiley did everything he could to latch onto those legs and pull them back, but that is a thick running back defensive lineman pounding forward. And pulls Deer Park within 13, trying to make it 12 with the extra point. Failed extra point try after their first score. Parsons the hold, and Broadbeck the kick. It is no good. Wide right for Broadbeck, and it stays a 13-point game. Let's check in with Chris.
Bob Herring. All right, Bob, as one of easily the most involved Cavalier alums over the last few decades, what do you feel like this athletic complex says about the future of Purcell Marian High School?
Well, Chris, there's never been a better time to be a Cavalier. It says the future, I believe, is bright for Purcell Marian. Not only do we have a new athletic field, but we've got the international baccalaureate program in the Catholic schools in Cincinnati. We've got incredible opportunities for students from all across Cincinnati. It's an incredible student body that comes from every neighborhood for a program unique on a field that is the field of dreams.
I love that. It is the field of dreams. So this field that you see in front of you now, how does it make you feel as an alum? I mean, you've been here as we've gone through the building process. You've seen it from when we broke ground. How would you describe your emotions right now regarding this?
Well, it goes back to 1968 when I was a senior here, and we looked out those windows and all we saw was Gilligan's Funeral Home. And it was always the dream to have our own home field, home on Hackberry. So to see the field that go through the construction is just absolutely incredible. We are home on Hackberry.
It is great to be home on Hackberry, that is for sure. Thank you so much, Bob. Appreciate your thoughts on this matter. All right.
Bob Herring, 1968 grad and a longtime Catholic school administrator. So many people from the Purcell Marian community, alums, back for tonight. The first true home game for Purcell Marian. And they're getting the ball back as well. Here's Carly O'Neill across the 35, picking his way forward. And a nice return will set up Purcell Marian with good field position.
So Bob Herring was actually my principal all through elementary school and here in Cincinnati. And then he came to Purcell a number of years ago and really was the one that championed that IB program we were talking about earlier. So he is an amazing educator that has been doing a lot for Purcell over the years.
This community is so tight, you can just tell.
Yeah, they are. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of people that are willing to pitch in. The school has a very rich history, and a lot of people are just so jacked up and excited about this place. I thought it was cool. I saw a little post on Facebook Coach Flug was helping all the guys put the stickers on the helmets the other night, and they had a little team dinner, and then they were getting everything ready. So it looked like a lot of the guys were having fun with it, and just creating that team atmosphere, that getting those guys all together and out there bleeding together and working hard together.
Yeah, Jeremy Flug has been promoting this game for a long time as Ward fumbles the snap, just had to fall on it. Going back to December 12th, he had just taken over, and he tweeted out, "Staubach Stadium coming, Deer Park, you're on the clock," and here we are.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I didn't know. Okay. A newfound respect for Coach. That's awesome.
And he was happy that they got to face Deer Park in the opener, specifically because of their unique style of offense. It's kind of hard to prepare for. They seem pretty well prepared on both sides of the ball.
Yes, they do.
After a loss of 7-7, second down and 17. And Harris is pushed out of bounds with a late hit. That is Kyle Langdon, who seems upset. It looks like a good call.
Yeah. But that's another one of those things. These kids are excited. They're out there. They're flying around.
Also Kyle's first year playing football, wrestler before that. Those wrestlers, man, they're crazy, right?
They're a little crazy. They're not right up there. But again, I think wrestling is amazing to help develop skills for football players. In terms of the leverage, the footwork. I think they're two sports that complement each other very well.
Yeah, you did both in high school and college.
Yes, I did.
1st and 10 in Deer Park territory. And Young is wrapped up in the backfield. Langdon, who just got whistled for the late hit, was there first. And Langdon's been chatting. They're going to send him to the sideline. Right to head coach Calvin Johnson. Obviously, words exchanged, and the officials just sent him off.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
So 2nd and 15 after that interesting sequence. And Young has a hole. Makes it 3rd and manageable at the 40. And here's another flag.
On Purcell.
Yeah, personal foul on Purcell Marian. The conversation continues between Calvin Johnson and Kyle Langdon. And Purcell will go right back. It was a dead ball personal foul. So it's still 3rd down. Instead of 3rd and 7, it's 3rd and 21 from the Purcell Marian 45. Ward, quick slant, and out of the hands of Neal. And Ward took a shot.
Yes, he did.
He's been banged up a couple of times tonight.
Yes, he has, but he's bouncing right back up.
Yeah. 5'10", 170 pounds.
I don't know, man, how many hits like that he can take in a season being that size, but
he's shifty, though. He's been able to elude quite a few of them, too. 4th and 21. Punt team is not out there. They're going for it. Ward chucking deep down the sideline, and Young almost came down with it. Probably would have been short of the sticks, but an on-target throw. Good defense from Parsons in there to break it up. Sonny Ward's balls from about 15 to 25 yards have been pretty solid so far tonight.
Yeah, it seemed like he's, again, I think he's comfortable back there, and he's making some good throws.
Talking it over with the coaching staff. Again, his first year with Purcell Marian, coming over from Norwood. Scarlet Division rival.
I'm sure Norwood wasn't happy to lose him.
Had 7 rushing touchdowns last year, 6 passing. 25-12, Purcell Marian on top of Deer Park in the opener. Kyle Langdon back in the game, gets the handoff, and he is stuck. That's Ian Phillips flying in.
So there's Hackberry Assassins getting after it.
You know, Ian Phillips, he had his season cut short last year due to injury. Still made 48 tackles on the year. And a big hit on Langdon here. Second and 9. Pitch from Parsons. It's Langdon. Got the edge. And a first down. Just over 4 minutes to go in the third quarter in a 2-score game. This seems like a pretty important drive for the scope of the game.
Yeah, I think Deer Park needs to buckle down. They need to get a score here. If they don't, I feel like there's going to be a big, huge momentum shift towards the Cavaliers, which I hope doesn't happen. But again, I do think it's a very important drive for them.
Handoff Denson this time, plowing forward, pulled down from behind, and a late flag. Phillips on the tackle. Purcell Marian starting to clap. Body language indicates that it's on Deer Park. And it is. Shamar Battle, captain for this team, came up clapping, and a personal foul, another one on Deer Park, will make it first and very long, make it second and very long. Watho Phillips, Shamar Battle also just went over to the student section and urged them to start making some more noise.
Yeah, he was trying to get them all pumped up.
It seems like the noise level's gone down just a little bit in the second half. Trying to get it ramped back up. Parsons to throw. Lobbing down the middle. And he overthrows Armour.
I think maybe the fans need some conditioning on cheering all night for the game.
But that's a real thing, though. Everyone comes out with all this energy for the first quarter and the first half. Halftime happens, it's easy to let off the gas a little bit from a fan perspective, too.
Especially when your team's ahead by a couple scores.
Yep.
You get a little comfortable. But I'll tell you, it does make a big difference when you've got, you know, the student section there cheering and yelling and screaming. So
Parsons to the outside on the pitch. It's Armour. Clean tackle and out of bounds. Jayon Saunders coming in for the safety spot. He is known for his interceptions, had 9 of them last year, but a clean tackle there. Brings up 4th and 13. Ball at the 35-yard line.
Stadium's coming alive.
in no man's land here, Nick. It looks like now Parsons is the punter, so he could drop back and punt it at any point, but big play right here, late in the third quarter. Will they snap the ball? Timeout. All right, Purcell Marian, Deer Park in our season opener tonight. If you have questions about Purcell Marian, the IB program, admissions process, tuition, classes, athletics, uniforms, any of that, save the date for info sessions and learn more at www.purcellmarian.org/admissions. Upcoming nights are Wednesday, October 11th and November 15th. Again, that's Wednesday, October 11th and November 15th. Downtown Cincinnati's looking pretty nice on a Friday night.
It is. Very well lit up.
Bengals season's coming up. Reds are still playing.
That's right.
Fun time of year.
FC Cincinnati, the soccer team, is doing very well as well. A lot of excitement around sports in Cincinnati right now.
This is the hottest ticket in town tonight, though.
That's right.
Looks like Deer Park's going for it. Parsons to pass on 4th down, taking a deep shot and intercepted. Jayon Saunders.
He's got blockers.
9 picks last year. He's got one this season. There are flags on the play. Saunders slowing down and finally wrestled down. The interception should stand, but almost certainly coming back. And it also looked like Saunders absolutely ran out of gas. Let's just hope he's not hurt.
Yeah.
He got to about the 35 and pulled up. And Jayshawn Denson is also down for Deer Park.
Yeah, it looks like he might be cramping up a little bit. Mental note for Coach Flug, maybe start working on some conditioning, a little more conditioning, starting Monday.
I mean, these guys haven't played a game in 10 months.
Yeah. Yeah, I can remember just, two-a-days during the season, and the first time you start hitting with pads, just the aches and the pains the next day.
How long does it take to adjust? Like week 2, 3?
I would say week 2. Week 2. If you can get, maybe 4 or 5 days of hitting with pads. The worst is, the first day you're hitting with pads, that second day you wake up, you're just sore. But you got to put all those pads right back on, put that helmet right back on, and go at it again. Great catch. Yep.
And then right there. Again, hopefully Saunders is okay. He was down after the play along with Jayshawn Denson for Deer Park. But coming over from that free safety spot, he read it beautifully.
Yeah.
9 picks last year. His first of this season. He led the Miami Valley Conference in interceptions last season. And those 9 tied a program record. And he's just a junior.
Big things to come.
So the interception does stand, but the flags with an illegal block in the back bring it all the way back to the 20-yard line of the Cavaliers. Purcell Marian takes over after Deer Park was driving. Ward to the outside and Smiley got some space. Smiley splits a couple of tacklers, trying to find the sideline, and he's pushed out of bounds. He is so elusive for a 6'4", 225 tight end.
for him, after that catch, just making things happen. You know, running through a couple guys there, stiff arm, yeah.
Offers from Akron, Kent State at the FBS level. Actually offered as a defensive end by Kent State. He's versatile, and here he is again. Another first down, and he breaks free. Levi Smiley, destination end zone.
Cavaliers. He might be getting some other schools looking at him if he continues playing the season like this.
Second touchdown of the night.
No one around him.
The initial versatility and the stiff arms, just breaking that initial tackle. He's been doing it all night.
Yeah, and I think if he can break that initial contact, like you said, I mean, he's just been all over the place. He looks like he's out there having a great time.
Jeremy Fluke told us he can do it all. He can block, he can catch. And the extra point is good.
All right.
Big swing there. Deer Park driving, could have cut it to one score. Instead, it's a 20-point lead for the Cavaliers after the long catch and run for the senior Levi Smiley. Ten touchdowns last year, burst onto the scene. This offense scored 28 points a game last season. They led the Scarlet Division in scoring per game. And they've got 32 points with over a quarter left tonight.
Yeah, they seem to be picking up right where they left off with that.
Against a team they only scored 16 points against the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Your weapons are back. They're older. Got a new head coach, different offensive system. It seems to all be clicking on that side of the ball.
Yes, it does. And as a Cavalier, it's great to see. Seems like everybody here is enjoying it as well. Got some people in the crowd up dancing and singing.
Still no passing yards for Deer Park. They've tried. They haven't been successful, and Purcell Marian certainly has.
Yeah, they're definitely capitalizing on that aspect of the game.
That is over double what Purcell Marian averaged through the air last year. The explosive passing game led by Levi Smiley, the story on offense for Purcell Marian tonight. And a sideways spinning ball bounces to the 31, picked up by Gorey. Kickoff man for Purcell Marian tonight. It's been Casey Seawall. So here's Jeremy Fluke's crew, up 32-12 in the third quarter. He grew up less than a mile from Purcell Marian, went to Walnut Hills High School. He understood the area, the demographic that he was about to step into. And he felt like it was going to be seamless in his first year. Like you mentioned, 9-1, 10-0. That's the expectation. It's one game. It's not over yet. But everything's going right so far.
Everything is going right. Everything is going probably as planned for him and his thoughts on what the team's doing so far tonight.
Well, later on this season, the Cavaliers will take on Cincinnati Hills Christian Academy, welcoming all Purcell Marian alumni home on Hackberry to celebrate the inaugural homecoming at Staubach Stadium on Friday, September 29th. against Cincinnati Hills Christian Academy. As part of the event, Purcell Marian will host a special pregame ceremony honoring the 1986 state championship football team and dedicating the Guy Baratieri Field at Staubach Stadium. More info and registration is available at www.purcellmarian.org/Marian Night.
It'd be great to see a lot of alumni out there at that game. So let's get the word out and see how many guys we can get there and have a good showing.
The environment here has been sensational. Nothing short, and they're hoping to get that every Friday night at home this year.
Well, with this stadium, I think it's a lot easier to ask people to come out and enjoy this rather than going to somebody else's stadium.
That's right. Again, in case you're just joining us tonight, Staubach Stadium, built over the past couple of years, the first true home game in Purcell Marian history, a school that's been around for 96 years. They've always had to go somewhere else. Now they have an on-campus stadium for the first time. Named after Roger Staubach, arguably the greatest Cavalier, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. In attendance tonight throughout the first pass pregame. And his team is up 32-12. A sharp-looking stadium, to say the least. And Deer Park is stuffed on 2nd and short. That'll make it 3rd down.
And I think the stadium looks even sweeter with the lights on. High school kids, everybody loves playing under the lights. So this place all lit up right now, it gives me some goosebumps.
We've seen the drone shot where everything is kind of in darkness, and boom, this stadium just stands out.
Yep.
They spared no expense, a $9 million facility. And it looks like one.
Yes, it does.
3rd and 3, Parsons keeps, and he'll pick up the 1st down. And for the entire Purcell Marian community watching this, some of these shots just soak it in, man. I mean, it's been a long time coming. It's beautiful.
Yes, it is.
1 minute to go in the 3rd quarter. Denson bouncing off tacklers, pounding forward, just shy of the 35. Another 1st down for Deer Park.
Yeah, seeing a field with a big PM in the middle is just so satisfying, because again, we've never really had that. So it's very, very beautiful sight. And I know it means a lot to a number of these coaches that were interviewed and a number of the players that are here.
And I'm sure it's so different for people who haven't been able to come back in a long time. And let's say 5-10 years, and they come back and they see the neighborhood, they see the stadium. It's got to be pretty stunning.
Well, it's even the school inside is changing. I mean, Andy's done a lot in there to change things and adapt to technology and just, be more appealing to students. So, yeah, I think anybody that does get a chance to come back should definitely do it, because the Purcell that we all attended through the years is very different inside and out right now.
Timeout taken by Purcell Marian. And that's the 2nd timeout for the Cavaliers this half. 37 seconds left in the 3rd quarter in our season opener. We've been talking about Roger Staubach all night, rightfully so. I mean, again, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, and he's here tonight. Got here last night. That's his Cowboys career alone. We talked about the Purcell Marian career, the Navy career before this, but I mean, legendary QB and 2-time Super Bowl champ, Super Bowl MVP. He's done so much at every single level.
Yeah. I mean, what hasn't he done, I guess, is the better question.
He even coined the term Hail Mary.
Yeah, that was really neat. In my research on preparing for this, it was really cool to see. Sounds like there were some guys from Notre Dame that may have used the phrase in the 1930s, but it wasn't until Roger used it after a 50-yard pass in one of his games with the Dallas Cowboys, and afterwards they interviewed him, and he just said, I threw the ball and I said a Hail Mary.
Here's Denson again. Nice gain on first down across the 30. Deer Park driving down by 20 as we approach the end of the third quarter. And the clock continues to wind. Yeah, you're thinking of 1975 and the game against the Vikings had a Hail Mary 50-yard play to the end zone. And after the game, Roger said, hey, I threw the ball and said a Hail Mary.
Yep.
And that's how the Hail Mary play got its name. Will Deer Park snap it before the end of the quarter? Yes. And it's Denson again. Got a first down to the 25. Purcell Marian led 18-6 going into halftime. They have expanded that 12-point lead to 20 going into the final quarter at Staubach Stadium. Let's go to Chris.
All right, Cavalier Nation, we are here with one of the most unique legends in Purcell Marian football history. We are here with Raven Cox, the first woman to score a point for the Cavalier football team and former record holder for most PATs in a football game. Raven, welcome back. All right, how you feeling about the fact that we got this brand new stadium here? What do you feel looking at this stadium?
I think it's absolutely gorgeous. It's amazing. It's shocking. Just really glad that we were able to pull this together. It's really fun to come back as an alumni and see how amazing something like this looks. It's just, I'm really happy for these people to be able to witness something like this.
It is incredibly exciting. Now, you having a unique experience here as a place kicker, is this a friendly stadium for kicking PATs, or is this kind of like anything about this stadium makes you say, oh, that's going to be challenging?
I already looked at it. The net's in the back. It's very friendly for PATs. He's sending them over. They're not going to go over the fencing at all, so they're going to come right back in. Someone's going to shag them for you.
Of course, the friendly neighbors will help.
Yeah.
All right, well, Raven, thank you so much for joining us. We're so glad to have you back at the castle, and promise us you'll keep coming back for more games.
Back. Awesome. I'll be here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Raven Cox, the first female kicker in Purcell Marian history. Elena Gentry actually followed her up last year and was the primary kicker for the Cavaliers. 32-12 as we start the fourth quarter, and Deer Park on the move, trying to get back at the game. Parsons will keep it, and wrapped up after a gain of 3 or 4 inside the 10.
Parsons on the keeper.
You know, something else that was interesting to see there at the end of the third quarter, you see all the Cavaliers hold up the 4 fingers for fourth quarter, and that was always big for us back when I was playing, of, you know, winning that fourth quarter and how important it was. You know, everybody's tired. Everybody's, you know, a little bit maybe off their game, but to kind of refocus and say, hey, guys, this fourth quarter, we got to get it done here to either win the game or keep our lead.
Trying to close out a season opening win. And Denson going right up the middle is in again. Jay-Sean Denson with a powerful run to the end zone. His second touchdown tonight.
Denson goes 7 yards.
You know, the Deer Park coaching staff was so excited to see what he could do as the #1 running back. Kendall Luckett, the #1 guy for the last few years, but Denson has always played second fiddle. Tonight, he has had a few explosive runs, especially inside the 10.
Yeah, and he's very powerful, forcing his way in.
Going for 2 near the goal line, and it's in. 2-point conversion good for the Wildcats to trim the lead to 12. Creative pitch play to Kyle Langdon, who snuck his way in. And the first-year football player makes it 32-20. Deer Park is known to be a scrappy team.
Coach looks pretty happy with their efforts there.
A 20-year Cincinnati police officer, Calvin Johnson. Served as a sergeant on the SWAT team. Former head coach at Aiken High School, just like Jeremy Fluke was back in the day. These coaches are very familiar with each other from their various stops, and Jeremy had a good sense of what Calvin Johnson's team would bring tonight. Cavaliers seem very prepared for it right off the top, but you know, Deer Park will not go down without a fight.
And again, you know, that's both programs in terms of going down with a fight. You know, the Cavaliers are used to that, playing to the very end, playing behind a lot. And it seems like Deer Park's the same exact way. And again, they're coming on strong here in the fourth quarter. So see how the rest of the game plays out.
Purcell Marian's been able to keep them at arm's length pretty much the whole way. They jumped out to a 12-0 lead. Deer Park cut it to 12-6, but since that point, they've trailed by double figures. Parsons with the kickoff. And scooped up by Gilliam. Gilliam searching for a crease. Near the edge and plowed out of bounds. Got across midfield, and again, excellent field position for Purcell Marian.
I was going to say, aside from the PAT team, special teams for the Cavaliers have seemed like they've been doing pretty good.
I'm sure you experienced it as a player. The coaches always preach, it's 3 phases. Don't forget about special teams. Did you have to play a lot of special teams?
So I did not. I told Coach Weisty that I wasn't sure how to long snap, you know, for the PAT or field goals, and so they brought in somebody else for that. But I did not spend much time on the special teams.
Here's a first down carry for TJ Young, the sophomore. Evaded a couple of tacklers, finally brought down after a gain of 5. Jack Kaiser, Nick Shookman, 1997 grad and Purcell Marian Hall of Famer for football and wrestling. Been a great night so far.
It's been an amazing night. Just from the play of the field, the weather, the excitement, you know, what this has meant for all the Cavaliers that are here and not here. It has been an amazing evening for a lot of people. The kids that are out there now, and again, all the alumni that are here.
You see Aaron Scott, number 77, right there. He said he imagined it sold out and that it would make us feel like kings when he was interviewed about it a few months ago. That's turned out to be true. Here's Young again, across the 30 with some thunder and a first down.
I think they're all feeling pretty darn good about themselves right about now and how everything's going.
Young's been a nice compliment to Harris and Aaron Scott. They rave about this guy at right guard. And he was a right tackle last year, but he shifted to right guard this season to give him a better chance to play in college. That was a new twist from the new coaching staff.
That's right. I remember Jeremy talking about that in the interesting way that they got him convinced to go over to guard.
Sonny Ward with a handoff to Young. And Purcell Marian keeping it on the ground to try and run some clock. 10 minutes to go. And the Cavaliers up by 10, rather 12. Kyle Langdon down momentarily for Deer Park, and they'll whistle it dead.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was, but Coach Flug was saying there was a guard in the NFL that was getting $20 million or something, and so he was like, all right, well, maybe I should do that.
Couple of guys, Quentin Nelson for the Colts and Zach Martin now for the Cowboys recently. When you see guards in the NFL start to make $15-20 million a year, that entices you to move over to guard a little bit more.
Especially when you have somebody like Coach Flug who knows the game and can kind of see and know where somebody should be. You tend to listen to guys like that.
Kyle Langdon for Deer Park on his feet, being helped to the sideline. Sonny Ward of the Purcell Marian offense relying on the run game now, but it's been the explosive pass plays to this point that has given the Cavaliers the lead. Nearly 300 yards passing after averaging only 130 per game last year.
That's what happens when you got weapons and you got options.
They option to run again. It's Harris this time, and he's brought down just shy of the sticks at the 22.
Because, you know, if you just had Smiley out there, after a while everybody would kind of focus in on him, and that would take that option away. But the fact that they've got a number of them, that if all of a sudden everybody's focusing on Smiley, they can go hit up some other people and open the field up.
Every starting skill position player has a rush or a catch tonight. They have spread the ball around.
They shared the wealth.
And a false start. Something else that has been cleaned up for Purcell Marian over the course of the game are the pre-snap penalties. We saw several of them in the first few minutes. And Jeremy Flug tipped us off that there might be.
Yep.
But the offsides and the false starts have gone way down.
Yep. Yeah. And again, the guys got settled. They got out here, all the hoopla, jitters are going, the excitement. Get a quarter or two under your belt and things start settling.
3rd and 7. Run it with Harris. Harris has a lane, breaks free. He's got the sideline. Touchdown, Purcell Marian. Right when you think they start to slow down, they break one loose. He is a shifty running back.
Yes, he is. Definitely made some moves happen there. Got to the outside, turned it on.
And when it's a rushing touchdown, that fires up the lineman even more.
That's right.
Flag before the PAT. And it's on Deer Park. Now they'll go for 2. Calvin Johnson had his team within 2 scores before this latest scoring drive from Purcell Marian. And after the encroachment, they move the ball a yard closer, and the Cavaliers will try to pick up 40.
Like Sonny's getting everybody where he wants them to be.
Under center. And a quick handoff to the outside and the pylon. Harris gets the 6 and the 2.
Quick handoff and a quick run. He got out there quick.
40-20, and a flag after the play should not affect the outcome. It was after Harris crossed the goal line. There has been some chippiness tonight. Purcell Marian unsportsmanlike conduct after the play, but that does not negate what J.L. Harris just did. touchdown run, 2-point conversion, and he has been fantastic out of the backfield tonight. 3 touchdowns, Nick, for Harris.
He's been working.
But sometimes he hasn't had to work too hard. Those lanes have been pretty wide.
Yeah, this one, he got out there quick. Yeah, that O-line, even this late in the game, they're getting the job done.
Jeremy Flug, the coaching staff, knew that would be their strength coming into the year, but they were excited to see what Harris could do. They lost leading rusher Jaden Childress from last season. Harris had 5 touchdowns, but he really only got carries the last 5 games of last season. But 3 touchdowns in the opener tonight as the #1 option.
He's letting coach know he's ready to go.
That's right. And Young's been a good complement to him as well. Between the passing attack of the first half and early this half, and then the run game they just showed on that potentially game-clinching drive. A lot of balance on the offensive side of the ball. Cavaliers doubling up the Wildcats right now, and 8:32 to go. Seawall sends it away. And it looks like we have a false start. To a school with an enrollment of just about 400. That is increasing, by the way, Purcell Marian. And over 1,200 people have made their way out to Staubach Stadium for its inaugural game. Probably more like 2,000 with standing room, right?
I think that's the number that I heard that was floating around out there in regards to the people that are standing, and they've got a number of people watching from the school.
Langdon picks up the kickoff, and Egbert tried to muscle him out of bounds. I think he did. Langdon steps to the sideline, and Deer Park takes over. But Purcell Marian will be at home again next week. They're hoping to be 1-0. 8:23 to close it out tonight. But they'll take on Aiken, the former school for Jeremy Flug and Calvin Johnson. 3 of the first 4 are at home for Purcell Marian. Actually, 4 of the first 5. Quick trip to Madeira, and then Kip, Columbus, Taft, both at home as well. So the challenge, Nick, and we've touched on it, is to get all these fans to bring the same energy every Friday at home.
Yeah, that will be big, I think, for the Cavaliers if we can do that. Again, we just need to be able to take this excitement from tonight and carry it forward. It's going to be a lot easier with a win, hopefully, that we can pull out here tonight if the next 8 minutes go as planned. But I'm hoping to see myself a lot more games and hopefully see a number of alumni out here to keep this excitement going for these guys.
Parsons, quick shovel out to Langdon, and a swarm from Purcell Marian brings him down.
The red swarm?
We've got to get you a t-shirt with that or something. And time is called for Langdon. FaceTime them in. We need to get as many people the full Staubach Stadium experience as possible. bring him out next week. So a successful start to this point for Purcell Marian. Still have some work to do, but on their way to potentially being 1-0. 3 straight playoff appearances after a 19-year drought. We've talked to some of the members of the state championship team from 1986 tonight. At that time, they were in Division II. And they beat Willoughby South at Ohio Stadium in Columbus. Purcell Marian did, to win the state title in '86.
And
Nick,
that's
when you came through, was that talked about a lot?
The '86 team?
Yeah.
It was, you know, and every effort was made, especially because Coach Wieste coached that team in '86, and so he was still there when I was there, and so, you know, everybody wanted to get back to that and get to that next level. You know, with us being at Division II at that time, there were some big powerhouses there, and we were, you know, a lot of times oversized. Our opponents were a lot bigger than us. But again, we still gave every try, showed up every day, and played as hard as we could to try and make it happen. But
timeout, Deer Park, their second this half. So another reminder, the ongoing sustainability of Purcell Marian High School relies upon generous support of the annual fund. Gifts in any dollar amount, any, will make a big impact. Become a sustaining supporter and set up a monthly gift for as little as $1 a month. Make a gift to the annual fund today at www.purcellmarian.org/donate.
Postgame tomorrow. JV game at 11, varsity at 12.
Fans still sticking around to see the conclusion of this one. 3rd and 7 for Deer Park after the timeout.
well, I know this place will go a little crazy come in about 7 minutes at the end of the game. If we're still on top, this place will be pretty charged up.
2 for 6 on 3rd down so far tonight. Parsons will throw, sideline, double coverage, and that pass not even close. Saunders and Battle were both over there. Brings up 4th and 7. Deer Park almost certainly going to go for it. And it looks like they will. Parsons takes it himself, dodges a tackler, lays a blow, and pounds across the 30 for a 1st down. So more about that state championship team for Purcell Marian. They beat Fairfield and Moeller that season, who both won their conferences that year. And I think, you know, for anyone who understands Cincinnati football and the history of some of these programs, that tells you how good that Purcell Marian team was.
Yeah, because those programs were real deal as well. And, you know, especially for Purcell to go in there and beat a team like Moeller, you know, football powerhouse here in Cincinnati is a big deal.
Yeah, they're nationally known.
Yeah.
And Purcell Marian had the magic that year. And more pragmatically, they had the defense. 46 points allowed in 10 regular season games. It's less than 5 points a game.
Yeah, you're pulling out some stats I didn't even realize. That's pretty amazing.
Armour is dragged down off the pitch. Brings up 3rd and short.
Well, I think it's just at that time, too, if you look, I think it was 1985, the boys basketball won the state championship, too. So, it's just, you know, I think in those couple of years, there was a lot of great, amazing athletes that were here at Purcell.
Well, the success continues across the board. Girls basketball's won a couple of state championships now.
Yeah, they're back-to-back, 2022, 2023. And I think the gals that are kind of leading that team are all going to be juniors this year. So I think they're excited about the potential of maybe a couple more.
Yeah. Football trying to make another run at it themselves. Back to Denson. Late flag. He was tackled just inside the 20. Should be enough for a first down for now. And the clock under 5 minutes stops. Face mask on Purcell Marian. That'll tack on 15. We hope you all have enjoyed the broadcast tonight. These angles from our crew have been fantastic. I personally can't get over the drone and how good it looks.
Yeah. That's a pretty neat way to see a game and catching some of those shots.
It's been a special night and a great broadcast headed up by John Cervisi, president of Tupelo Honey. Talked to him at halftime. That play is strung out and brings up second and about 7. First down still possible for Deer Park. Would have to get it about the 2.
Well, I think we were also very lucky to have you here tonight, Jack, because if I was here trying to stutter through this myself, it'd be pretty, probably singing the school fight song right now, or...
Hey, man, it's been a blast tonight, and I think I speak for the audience. We've all enjoyed your stories from when you played and your perspective on this as an alum, a Hall of Famer at Purcell Marian. It's been a great night.
I've enjoyed being a part of it. I'm glad they thought so much of me they asked me to do it and participate.
Another excellent play for the defense all over that pitch to Armour, who was slow to get up. Carly and Neal there from the edge. Jayon Saunders as well.
It was also good because I didn't get a ticket to the game, so this was kind of my end to get
needed
here.
One. It was sold out.
I needed a reason to get in here.
It was sold out. I'm sure people who were walking up were pretty disappointed.
So I was like, yeah, I'll do the broadcast as long as you let me in the game.
Tickets were only available online before the game.
Yeah, as soon as sales went on, I think they said it was an hour and 15 minutes, and the place sold out.
Like that. Almost as fast as a Taylor Swift concert these days.
It's close. Close.
All right, it's 4th down.
But again, I think that just shows you the excitement here at Purcell and you know what everybody was looking forward to. It's been an amazing night.
Everybody's come out of all ages.
100 years of pent-up excitement for a night like tonight.
And this could be their final defensive play. Clock at about 2 minutes. 20-point lead for Purcell Marian in the season opener. Parsons to pass over the middle, incomplete. He had Brody Armour, but it slipped through his fingers. And Purcell Marian takes over on downs. Levi Smiley and J.L. Harris have combined for 5 touchdowns tonight. Smiley, number 18, you just saw him. Harris not on the field right now. He's number 0. With 5 touchdowns between those two. Sonny Ward had the other. That one is into the end zone. And a safety. Snap was mishandled, and Quentin Hunter just decided to fall on it. Brady Hopkins is talking to the official about something. But a couple free ones for the Wildcats. And the jet sweep. The exchange just not there between Ward and Hunter. And it looked like the snap surprised him as well. So Deer Park will take over, but still down 18 with 2 minutes to go. Coming up for the Wildcats, they'll go to Schroeder Padilla and then play them at home. Expected to be a playoff team again this year. Sweetening the win for Purcell Marian even more. Wildcats out of Division 6, Purcell Marian in Division 5, but Deer Park is used to playing teams in higher divisions in its conference. And pretty much all Purcell Marian tonight, though. Jeremy Fluke's an engaging personality.
Yes, he is. Like I said, I got a chance to talk to him a couple times this week in and around the school, and just his enthusiasm for the kids, the season, the game has been pretty awesome to see and talk to him about. And I think the kids are all getting behind him as well. They believe in the things that he believes in and things that he's telling them. And I think that's big for the team as well.
Here's the kick for Purcell Marian after the safety. And Deer Park will let it go out of bounds, which is a penalty, giving them better field position. Even going to the offseason and Jeremy Fluke's first offseason, he's touring these guys to different college camps around the country. They went to 11 different college camps to try and help get their players some exposure. In 9 days, 11 camps in 9 days, all across the country, everywhere from Michigan down to Florida.
It's a lot of driving.
It is. He's tweeting about it. He's pumping these guys up. And that's the extra stuff that can really help build a program.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, I saw a bunch of those tweets and Facebook posts that he had. And, I mean, all the kids looked like they were having a great time. And I think that's important, too, because, you know, if you go out there and it's just work, 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 you know, it's one thing. But to go out there and have a great time and love what you're doing, I think has a big impact on you and the guys around you and how much fun you have playing the game. The other thing they're doing this Sunday, I think they're doing like it's like an NFL combine type event here at the stadium for youth in and around the neighborhood, which again I think will help build the excitement for other kids to potentially that maybe we're thinking about going to school somewhere else, of saying, hey, let me relook at Purcell Marian. So the fact that Jeremy's doing some new and interesting stuff like that, I think is only going to continue to help the Cavaliers.
When you have a home, you can
do those things.
Plan all these events now. Do the kickoff again from further back. Kyle Langdon has it this time. And he's brought down near the 40-yard line. Will Keeney in on the tackle. .152 to go. Deer Park down by 18 on opening night. Purcell Marian just held strong inside the 10. Forced a turnover on downs, but the safety has given it back to Deer Park here at the end. Empty backfield for Parsons. And he connects with Armour. Stays in bounds. Nice move from Brody Armour to scoot forward and pick up some extra yards. Parsons and Armour, best friends since they were 5 years old, along with Cam Gilreath, the top returning tackler for Deer Park, who unfortunately tore his ACL in the preseason. That connection between Armour and Parsons dates back a long time. Those are the first passing yards, I think, for Deer Park tonight.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Good call.
It was 279-0 at one point in favor of Purcell Marian.
And now Deer Park gets on the board in that category.
They'll try again. To the sideline, back shoulder throw. Flag came out. Was he in bounds when he caught it? He went out of bounds and came back in to make the catch. And that was Armour again. Yeah, can't do that. Did get his feet in bounds late.
I was going to say, it's a great catch.
Now, it's fine if he was forced out. Officials ruled that he was not. Makes it 1st and 15, back to about the 40-yard line. They'll run it. It's Armour on the carry, dashing to the outside and stuck. Excellent tackle in space right there, and it's Saunders flying in.
He met him right there at the line and took him down.
Again, he had the pick earlier tonight, the 9 interceptions last year, but his tackling may have been more impressive in this opener. Clock continues to run, under a minute. Bad mesh point, and Parsons keeps it. Tackled right away.
Well, the clock is winding down on a wonderful night for Purcell Marian and everything that this school's been doing.
Handshakes all around. They scored on their first 3 drives.
Stands are starting to go crazy.
They led by double figures most of the night and capitalized on the energy surrounding the inaugural game at Staubach Stadium. Parsons down the middle, and oh, it's caught. What a catch and a fumble. But he popped it out too late. He was down. That'll do it though. 40-22. Purcell Marian defeats Deer Park in the first ever game at Staubach Stadium.
Hopefully many more wins to come.
In the first win for Jeremy Flug at Purcell Marian. Their offense was electric tonight.
As always, like I said, they had a lot of different weapons. They used them all. Got the ball in the end zone a number of different ways with a number of different people.
Levi Smiley, J.L. Harris combined for 5 touchdowns. But the story tonight is this stadium and this community coming together for something that they've waited for nearly a century to see in person.
And it's a beautiful, beautiful sight.
Sonny Ward in his first game with Purcell Marian, coming over from Norwood. success.
Huge success. I think the Cavalier Nation is excited to see what this guy can do.
I know he really impressed you in the first half. He impressed everybody watching. And now it's about the celebration. Purcell Marian 1-0. They have their sights set on 10-0. That's what Jeremy Flug said before the season started.
9 more.
Javante Copeland just went for the Gatorade bath. He got a little bit. Missed on the first try, but he got Jeremy Flug.
The players come over to the students, and we will sing Purcell Marian.
Can you still sing the fight song, Nick?
If these guys started off, I think I can chime in after a couple verses and then be ready to go.
Karaoke version.
That's right. That's right. But yeah, this is a big tradition. After every game, you know, we would go over to the sideline and sing the fight song to the student section and other parents and family that are hanging around.
They're singing and they're going to be dancing. 40-22 the final score, the first win in the Jeremy Flug era. What a look at Staubach Stadium. The inaugural game here tonight.
Huge success for the Cavaliers.
It started pregame. The energy was undeniable. Roger Staubach was back in town. They did it on defense. They did it on offense. Purcell Marian was dominant tonight, and they moved to 1-0. For Nick Shookman, Chris Wilkie down to the sidelines, Andrea Crawford producing, executive producer John Cervisi, our entire Tupelo Honey crew. We say so long from Staubach Stadium.